Hello everyone, we're back with another week of OSAS. We're back to the something more similar to the very first OSAS format from way back, and it's gonna be Swiss again. I'm here with Flop, and there are 3 rounds of Swiss left, and these are 2 of the teams that have made it past the first round, but there's still a lot more to play. You have to have at least a 3-1 record to make it to the final bracket.
Yep, we got 3 rounds left. A lot of game time left. So I don't know the record of these teams. I don't know if they're coming off wins. 1-0.
They're chilling.
Oh yeah, they're chilling. They still got, basically a life. But yeah, this is gonna put somebody on what you would call their I don't know, the match point of their Swiss set. Whoever takes this loss is gonna have to make quite the run if they want to qualify.
Yep, and we have Guest Star versus the Wizard Ducks. Guest Star featuring Mycotic, Randor, and Life 1312. While on the other side, we have a bit of an interesting team of Friendly Taco, Hypnoxia, and Empress B. And immediately Rasmus taken off the table. Not too much of a surprise. If your team doesn't have a big Rasmus player on IMEs, you're going to have to ban it away.
Yeah, a lot of teams don't like playing into this Rasmus because it does feel very punishing, especially if you have the Julie or like a Drakkar or something that has a lot of pressure. It can kind of feel like when you're trying to cross that middle, you don't have any room to work with. You can't stay near the wall because you'll get dash punched. You can't stay near the middle because you'll get hooked. And so just a lot of teams don't like dealing with it. So Rasmus bans are pretty standard.
And yeah, it'll be very interesting to see this gameplay as we see a name off their car, but that's quite unfortunate for the Wizard Ducks, as they will be losing their ban in the next round. But it's all about this game for them, and the car surviving for a moment. I believe that is Hypnoxia, and in general, I'm really liking the passing plays coming out from Guest Star. I think they're keeping calm, cool, collected. They're making great use of their resources so far.
Yeah, they're very nice passes. This core isn't going anywhere that it shouldn't. Well, I said that and cursed them, but this core is pretty much always in the possession of Guest Star. Coreflip coming out to try and regain it, but yeah, they just shut it down. Guest Star are not interested in losing this core.
Yeah, and even the snare drums coming out from Friendly Taco aren't quite enough, and whenever it gets to Mycotic, it's just cleared away. I think Guest Star just need one opportunity to really break through, but Randor's getting chipped down, KO'd by Hypnoxia, and suddenly it's a power play for the Wizard Ducks. They can push forward, and they're really utilizing the extra damage that they have with that Fini, but can they convert is the question, right? Mycotic's continuing to make these saves.
Yeah, they're going to take the barrier there for Wizard Ducks. This could be a pretty good first point, but no, it's cleared by Life. Yeah, I think both these teams are kind of alright stalling it out, but I think it's a little bit better for Wizard Ducks with the damage game going. Oh, beautiful save by Mycotic, the Mako secondary.
Oh, and Randor gets a great shot, but that's Hypnoxia there with the KO. Friendly Taco sends it forward, and Mycotic's in a tough situation, but the center clears are good to flip to the top side, though. We'll put a shut to that, and yeah, both these teams navigating the midfield well. Wizard Ducks have the damage edge, while Guest Star has the passing edge, but when it goes late, the KO can come through, and when it goes late, flips are available, so you can't quite hold forever.
Yeah, it seems like Guest Star is looking to play this game a little bit slower. They are putting up a good amount of pressure here. Might get this barrier, the Fini ult, unfortunately hitting it, but yeah, looks like they're playing this a bit slower, and that's fine. But you can't play too slow because the kill comp will find a kill. Even though it's not a traditional kill comp, there's still a lot of damage.
Randor now has meter, has to be careful about the edge though, taking so much damage from Hypnoxia's Drakkar. Has the flip, tries to punch it through, but stuffed away by a million Mako abilities, and also the triple take. The KO coming through almost. Finally there, but a great shot by Life to stem the bleeding. It's 1-1, and this game is like a really surprisingly slowly paced IMEs game.
Yeah, I think it has a little bit of something to do with the lack of a Julie for Wizard Ducks. You know, if we saw that Julie picked here for them, this would be more of a standard comp, right? You have the Drakkar and the Julie putting out a lot of pressure. But this Drakkar doesn't really seem too interested in kills. Even opting in, well, yeah. All things considered, you know, there's not a lot of like knockbacks happening, not a lot of kills. Wow, that is a curse. But the power play coming for the Wizard Ducks here, this could be really good for them if they can get this in.
Good flip though, gets Mycotic out of danger, the barrier still stands, and Randor's trying to get into position. Mycotic has been such a good goalie here, but clears it right into the shotgun, and Hypnoxia will be the one getting the goal as Life now on the defense as well. But a great triple take by Empress B. Mycotic though, still getting the saves on this Mako, and Guest Star hold.
Star do hold, and if they can clear this out in reasonable time, this will be really good for them. But Randor did just blow that dash punch and the ult. Your Julie doesn't have too much for taking this goal.
Oh, but another great save by Mycotic, sends it to the other side of the map, and Life pushes up, but Empress B is there. And another passing play down to Hypnoxia, and the Wizard Ducks are making use of their damage pressure. Not as much in the final moments, but just get good again.
Yeah, that's really tragic. Empress's primary there managed to hit the Estelle right out of the way. Life unable to really connect it, and that's going to be set point here. Oh my, the Feeny secondary. That's not what you like to see.
Well, as soon as it was 2-1, it's now 2-2. But I think the Wizard Ducks can't be too sad about that. They have meter to work with here, and they have a lot of damage onto Randor. Not burning the elusive finally does to avoid going down too low, but Empress B keeping the core in the corner, and Life has to watch out while chasing this core. Mycotic as well, but a great flip block with the Finis secondary, and a great layered pressure by Life onto the core flip attempt. This is really good for Guest Star. They have a flip available, they can go for something, but they're at a striker disadvantage.
Yeah, they are, but they still have a decent chance if Life can get this core up. Get this core up. Choosing to dribble to stall it out, gonna burn the flip defensively, but that's really not what you want, especially here at set point. You're running a little low on energy. Empress has hers coming up soon.
Randor looking for a dash punch angle, and Life looking for a snipe as well, but the cooldowns are burned and nothing is found. The Wizard Ducks hold on. They try to find an angle inward, but not quite. Again, this defense looking good for both sides, but especially for Guest Star at the moment as the core slowly pushes up to Randor, who's taking a lot of damage still. The Finny debuff looking scary here as Randor is so low. Gets in position but doesn't use an ability. Goes for the strike, and that's not what you need in that situation. Flip finally burned from Mycotic. It goes off the center but somehow gets out of danger for now, and Randor is still somehow alive.
Oh, alive, and finds the perfect spot before getting right to him, and it doesn't matter if you're staggered because you're still capable of interacting, you know. If you're not able to confirm that kill, the stagger's basically meaningless, and that's going to go to first set to Guest Star, earning them what I'd imagine would be either a rapid fire, maybe a hot shot. I'm not really sure what Mako prefers here. I have to imagine it's one of those. Oh, recovery drone.
Going for the size here and explosive entrance instead of rapid fire or hot shot. Interesting choice. Really going for more of that impact damage onto the car. Wants to kill with these combos on the shotgun. And single spark taken over rapid fire by the Estelle. It's definitely future proofing, but hot shot and rapid fire both on the board. I think either of those would have been a little better here.
Yeah, I do agree. And because of that, Randor was put in a spot where he was left with really nothing. He picked up the Among Titans, which is not great for your Julie. That is not what you want your brawler player picking up. A little bit of size, well, a little bit of speed is nice, but not worth the size you're losing.
Oh, but Life getting in there, but the strike slightly off. Not quite enough, but gets another opportunity. 1v3, Life taking the barrier solo, and another chance on the goal soon. Randor might just be converted to a midfielder at this rate with the speed. And Life is playing up. Life's getting in position to snipe a little bit early, though. Friendly Taco not having to make a difficult save there, as Life is the one who is now low. The impact damage coming into play, but maybe the game plan was just to make Mycotic a massive wall, because with double size, Mycotic can save everything, it feels like.
It is double sized. Plus, it's also a quick strike start. That is something we didn't really pay too much attention to in the start. But that quick strikes, the size, Mycotic's really going to be able to contest. Wow. Ooh, red core from what? Why is that red core?
it definitely red cored. Maybe somehow it wasn't sharp enough an angle and kept momentum, but Friendly Taco, good attempt on the strike shot, right? Almost got the save, but it wasn't quite enough. Slightly mistimed. That means Randor gets a free shot off, and I think Guest Star is starting to pull away with it. Even though they're taking a lot of damage, it doesn't feel like Mycotic's going to lose a barrier anytime soon.
Yeah, it seems like they're investing a lot to get the damage they want, and they don't really have anything left. And Life is being really consistent on that out clear. Seems like every time it's gone for, the primary comes out and stops it.
Yeah, and Life now pushing forward, has the blink, has the flip, doesn't choose to burn it yet, but good try, and Mycotic greets a little bit too much on the primary charge, and Life is low. Life has to be really careful with his core flip, gets it, but that's not the angle that they wanted there. It's a little tough, and now it is a different core flip available, this time on Hypnoxia, but burned actually. The core flip gone, and Mycotic still has the core flip. This is looking pretty good for Guest Star with the life respawn.
Yeah, you got your Estelle back up, you've got flip, you're looking really chill. This Juliet has everything in position.
Randor?
One dash punch is all it's gonna take.
Yeah. Oh, a great shot by Life, but not quite. And now Randor finding a dash punch, finding the KO actually with the mini Juliet, but not enough size there to catch up to the core. Mycotic now trying to find a passing play, flip available, blocked away by Life. That's 2 flip blocks by Life so far, and both in crucial moments. Now Mycotic's forward almost into the goal, and a great Finny primary somehow. A great primary back by Mycotic for the save. But Mycotic has to be so careful here. And Randor almost, but not enough size to quite get the strike after the shot there. Mycotic, oh, the flip just short, and it's 1-1.
That's so unfortunate. The Drakkar ult slowing down just enough to keep you out of that flip range. It's a little benefit to the Drakkar that I think a lot of players forget that he has is the slow. Plus he's got chrono boost, so it lasts longer. It's more impactful, and it came in clutch there. So very well played by Drakkar and the Wizard Ducks.
Oh, and Friendly Taco's being pretty proactive with these Ensnare drums, which is a huge benefit to their offense, as once again Hypoxia pushes up and with the strikes punishes Mycotic for going the same way 5 times in a row. Life and Randor now have to rush to try and get a barrier back, as Mycotic has been very good when the barrier's up, but it's a little bit more difficult in the open net. Life with the confidence strike wars, getting in there. Life keeping possession. Life almost gets it all. Has a flip available, but gets stuffed away by the triple take, but still stuffs another flip. That's 3 in a row stuffed by Life as they go for the orb, but still have to be very careful here. Mycotic barely re-angles the core flip away from the goal. What a great save.
Yeah, beautiful saves here by both Life and Mycotic. You know, Life shutting down those core flips like you mentioned. Mycotic's being very stable. Well, that's unfortunate. That is the second cage thrown up by Taco that just hasn't come out in time, and you hate to see it because it really is just very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, and now Randor is the one who wants to make their mark on the game, but taking a lot of damage already, not hit by the primary there, still surviving as Drakkar dribbles forward. Mycotic and Life trying to find an offensive play here, an offensive push, and Life is doing so well at keeping the possession up, hitting it to the top wall so many times, which makes it so easy for Randor to follow up and makes it so hard for Friendly Taco to clear it out.
A lot of damage here on Randor. If they don't get this in, this could be a kill and a power play for the side of Wizard Ducks to bring this to set point even.
But Randor still survives somehow, burns a dash punch, but there's the Crystal Thorns from Life. That's a set win. And if they win the next set, they don't have a draft to worry about. No threat of huge scaling here as long as they pick up something good. What will it
there's
be?
a lot of there are a lot of things in this game that can sway Amy Zap games pretty heavily. And I think they're actually okay. There's a lot of powerful things here. The glass, the twin drive, fight or flight, especially it's picked up by Friendly. But nothing really too impactful for the kill side of things. I think we're going to see more of a tame game.
Yeah, but if that Specialized gets picked up, I'm a little scared for Randor, even with the Stagger Swagger. It's a lot of damage. That or the prize fighter on Drakkar of Hypnoxia are very scary when Guest Star are like on the edge of taking too much damage, right? So it's definitely a delicate balance, especially as Randor is almost dead already.
Yeah, it is a very delicate balance, and you know, Drakkar's already found a lot of kills this game. I think up to 6, 7, maybe 8. So he's not having a problem stacking the prize fighter if he were to pick it up, but he did opt out of it. They came out of that spec training, so as long as you're not near the walls, you're okay, but he does have a decent kill combo now.
Friendly Taco on the defense now, and Life almost gets the shot, but great knockback. But Randor just forces it through. The secondary of Friendly Taco doesn't even care.
And the Mako secondary is not a wall. You can hit it through. It's hard. But you have the will and the determination, and you're in the right spot with the right things. You can get it through, and once it's through, it's really scary to try and save.
Really scary as Mycotic and Life are back. Randor's getting in there, and another snipe by Life following up on the great plays by Randor, keeping the core trapped. It's looking very, very good, and it looks like the KO focus is kind of gone from the Wizard Ducks. They're not focusing Randor as hard as normal, which means Randor finally gets to play the game. That's a Flame Flurry to the top side. That's another goal. They're one away from moving on.
It's very, very hard to kill this Julie, I feel. With the Among Titans, I know it's not great for the Julie to have, but with that, you're smaller, you're harder to hit, you're faster. And on top of it, you've got quick strikes for extra energy, stagger swagger. Like, it's kind of hard to kill this Julie reliably. So I don't know if they just given up. Oh, well, they've killed him.
Randor is gone, but Mycotic's defense is not. A lot of flips available on the board. Most importantly, Mycotic's and Hypnoxia is on the Drakkar. But gets caught sleeping near the center. That's the hole you have to worry about. That's a KO from Mycotic's primary. And even though Life and Randor take chip damage from the ensnare drums, it doesn't matter. They're going to get in there. That's a snipe shot from Life to take the barrier, and Life continues maintaining possession.
Yes, they do, but Guest Star looking very low. Randor staggered. Life staggered. A lot could happen here. Flip's gone.
Oh. But
that
Friendly Taco does not get the flip out in time. Randor punishes, and that's Guest Star moving to 2-0.
That is really well played by Guest Star. Very consistent. They didn't really do anything too flashy. They just played into the kill comp pretty well, drafted what they needed to draft to survive, and just kind of felt like they had possession almost all the time. I didn't really see Mycotic under too much pressure that game.
Yeah, Mycotic was very good at getting out of pressure, and Life maintained possession so well that game. A lot of dribbling off the top walls, especially when the barrier was up, made it very difficult for Friendly Taco to make the saves, I think. And Guest Star, I guess they're a reason they were first seed going into this.
Yeah, a beautiful performance, and if they play like that for the rest of the night, I do expect them to. Wow, I expect to see them in the qualification matches, either winner's side or loser's side. I don't think it matters. I think they'll be there if they keep this up.
Yep, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Because there are a lot of good teams in this bracket. There are a lot of teams in general in this bracket. There's like more than 30. Something like that.
Yeah, there are quite a lot of teams, a lot of recurring teams from last week that didn't quite make it in. And I assume probably some new teams as well, and I don't recognize Guest Star. I think they're one of the newer ones. They might have played last week and just didn't qualify, but I do believe that they're on the newer side and they're performing very well. So if this is what we're like, the kind of quality of the matches we were expecting, I'm really excited to watch.
Yep, and it looks like this round is almost complete. We only have like 3 games to wait for, and some of them might be ending as we speak, but yeah, there's just a lot of good games to look forward to, so I'm looking forward to them. big 2-0 teams as well. Looking at the standings here, currently sitting at 2-0. We have 7 teams with more to follow. Animal Style Osas, Matu, Moshi, Scandals. Not a surprise. Those 3 are players that we've seen a lot. Team 13, Sarcasm, Sandy. I hate this. I hate the usernames on Team 13. But Team 13 is also a team that I've seen around. I mean, Jors, of course, Sleepyheads, Guest Star, who we just saw, and some newer faces as well.
Yeah, there are some. I'm looking at Bogus, Boons, and Bean. I don't recognize them. I like their name. But also it's like Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese. That's got Fire Dragon on it. He's kind of new to the community, I think. I know he's been around recently. He's pretty big person. Kind of holding down the Twitch viewership besides BestieInSlot, you know. But there are some newer teams here. We still got 2 rounds to go, so I think any of these teams can really still qualify, so long they're not 0-2, right?
Yep. Yeah. If you're 0-2, unfortunately, the rest of your games are for practice, but as long as you only have 1 loss or less, you still could make it to the final bracket at the end.
That is what we like to hear, and yeah, I mean, a lot of these teams are pretty good players. Whoa.
What?
Oh, yeah. I saw the Cakes jump scare in the in the lobby. I was like, he can't play in this.
Well, why is Cakes here?
Why are you 2 here? We were here first. What do you mean, Cakes?
But it might be a few seconds until the next round, so we'll cut the break. There's only 2 matches left. It shouldn't be long.
Yeah, we got 2 matches left.
See ya.
I think they're...
We're back, and we're back with a new matchup. We have Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese versus Bogus Bunts and Bean. Two food themed team names, technically, kinda. Definitely two team names of all time.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what a bogus or a buns is. But I know what beans are, and that's enough for me. Both of these teams are 2-0, so both of these teams will likely this match. Yeah, both these teams are likely to end up progressing further. I don't think. Oh wait, no, they're still. They have to go 3-1, right? So as long as they don't lose this game and the next, they'll be okay. So both these teams do have like a little bit of a grace game. This is no like disqualification game or anything like that, but it is still a very good games. Both team 2-0. We got Fire Dragon, Harrisonry, and Mac. For the side of Harrison's Mac and Cheese versus the side of Bogus Bunts and Bean, which is it's Lime Time Grimdark Charlie. Is that their actual user? Yep. And Geomite.
Yeah, so I looked it up, and Bogus Bunts and Bean is actually a reference to one of the Roald Dahl books, Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is wild that that's the team name, and it's definitely very interesting. I did not expect that to be the type of team name that we would see in a tournament like this, but they're against Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese, which I'm pretty sure isn't a reference. I think it's just the team members' names combined, because they have Fire Dragon, Harrison, and Mac. So they just added cheese.
Yeah, I believe that is just the classic old reliable combine everybody's name together and that's your team name. But I do like the cheese, you know, like the in cheese. I think that's a little quirky, little add-on. Not the worst conglomerate of usernames I've seen thrown together. We are waiting to get into this lobby and for map picks and bans and stuff to happen. But we'll be in pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. And importantly, actually, I'm not sure if I've seen any of these players before. Of course, I don't think I've seen any of these players in tournament other than Mac.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them in tournament. I think I've seen Fire Dragon and competitive, but I'm not familiar with any of these players.
All right. It looks like we're going to Atlas's lab, and I'm interested to see how this will play out. Yeah.
I think AtLab is a map that a lot of players like, especially if they like playing the damage, right? You've got the star in the middle to kind of dish out some of that damage, so it's not too uncommon. And I think even core, like even people that like playing more core control comps are okay with Atlases because it is pretty easy to avoid the center. And you kind of just pop it on repeat if you really want. So I think a lot of teams go there, and I'm wondering if maybe we'll see some kill comps come out, or if we'll see like the standard core comps that come out, or maybe we'll see like a mix of both. I'm not really sure what to expect, especially after last game where we had the Feeny and the Drakkar, which is not something you typically see on the same team.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm interested to see what comps they'll pull out here, especially because the hovers I'm seeing are not exactly the most synergistic, right? These are these are characters that are sort of opposed to each other in a way, but OSAS in some ways is a tournament about comfort and being able to play your game. So We can definitely see that here, especially on a map like Atlas's Lab. Even a solo Vice can be a damage threat by its own. And on the other side, we're seeing a Kai match, an Atlas match. Wait a second, this is...
No way do we see the mirror. If we see a mirror on this comp, I will be amazed.
Okay.
Okay. The Kai and the Atlas, that's not too surprising. Kai's very, very popular among a lot of players. You know, especially in Osis, I think a lot of players really like what Kai offers. So I'm not too surprised to see them in the midfield, but this Vice and the Amy are a little interesting. I have to say the Amy's a bit more impactful, just because I think the extra core control really rounds out your comp. It gives you that little bit of extra that you might need compared to this Vice. Kind of just feels thrown in.
But Harrison's, I guess, positioning quite well on the bottom side, making it very difficult for D4C to find a clear angle. Geomite doing a lot of barrage dribbling, but using the barrage on the dribble means you don't have it for the push, and Max getting in there as well. Fire Dragon winning the interaction to Chain Lightning, almost taking the self-barrier, but not quite. And yeah, from what I'm seeing so far, Bogus Bunsen Bean, Geomite is doing the heavy lifting on the offense right now, and I'm not sure if it'll be enough later into the game.
Yeah, Kai does okay into the Atlas if you're able to use that secondary and have a teammate that you can pass to a bit. But Barrage doesn't beat the Atlas secondary. I would know. I've tried.
Oh, but that's a great glitch pop, and that's a great barrage right under the expanse of Fire Dragon. Geomite in the right place at the right time, making the plays for the first goal.
Geomite does understand how you beat the Atlas secondary and why the matchup isn't nearly as bad as you think it might be. Being able to just like kind of shove it in above or below is really strong against the Atlas. It's really hard for the Atlas to clear, and I thought that was going to be a barrier for Geomite.
Yeah, but on the other side, Mac is hitting around D4C quite well, making it difficult on the defense. Very non-straightforward for the Atlas on the other side of the map. And as Harrison has dropped back to defend quite a bit and also is pumping out a lot of damage onto Geomite, this is looking scary for Bogus Bunsen Bean. If this KO comes through, the Atlas healing it, there's a little bit. But Mac, low, but would have liked to get KO'd there for the Reds. Unfortunately, stays alive and is staggered. Never mind, stays alive and is in position for the goal. I lied.
Yeah, they burned everything they had trying to confirm the kill, and if you don't confirm the kill, then, you know, like we've seen before, you're still capable of playing the game. Just because, yeah, it's harder, but that's still a Kai. Kai's still very good at putting it in, getting the core around. Oh, double barrier by the side of August Bunsen Bean.
Yeah, but on the other side, double barrier by Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese, but Geomite playing the corner exceptionally, looking a little bit like my co-caster there, and that barrage walk-in was really, really good.
That was a beautiful walk-in, you know, kept it consistent, was there for the strike, didn't even need it though. It was very beautiful. Both Kais on both sides really are playing very well for scorer Kai. Not something I'd recommend, but they're pulling it off.
Yeah, and oh no, dancing a little too close to the edge there, and that means the striker advantage in the favor of Harrison's Mac and Cheese. Fire Dragon with plenty of room to play, but Geomite has been solo playing like that before, gets the barrier all by themselves, and the glitch pop from Lime Time will make a striker advantage right back as Geomite continues to pressure. Pass down, pass back up, but Fire Dragon intercepts for now. But Lime Time once again unrelenting. The glitch pop almost creates a crazy passing play, but still they survive, and now it's past to Mac, who was trying to get damage down onto Geomite. The KO, though, not found, and this is a tough situation for Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese.
Yeah, it is, and oh, beautiful flip there, gonna save it. The Vice ult coming out, no kills. I think they've got it clear. Geomite doesn't have too much, no passes are available. Oh, this could be in. Ooh.
Yeah,
that is a set for Bogus Bunsen Bean, and the scoreboard may say 3-1, but it is not quite how that game's going. I mean, it is, but the game's a lot closer, you know. I think they could have really gone either way, and your Amy is going to get to pick up whatever she wants, probably the heavy, I'd have to imagine, maybe Twin Drive. Yeah, opted into the heavy. That's what I prefer it. I think the cooldowns are nice.
But with how the game's been playing so far, I think that team player might change the entire game, right? I think Twin Drive would arguably be the better choice here, but with how the game's been played, I think the team player will allow the core to get to Mac that much more often and make Geomite's job that much harder, and that could just be the entire difference maker here. The core speed is a really powerful tool for compositions where there's like one person who's in the front basically doing solo offense.
Yeah, they could be the impact. When Giga's tried to go and, trying to hit the clip, I respect it. I would have gone for it too. And this could be impactful. Geomite's a little low. He does have the stagger swagger from the start, so damage isn't that great unless you can really confirm it.
Oh, but a great pass from Harrison. Topside almost, but D4C saves it for now, but a great barrage to catch the clear down, and Harrison there to catch the clear on the other side. And this is Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese coming alive. Usually they look a little bit scared when the barriers are down, but not in that case. That they're making the scoring plays happen.
Yeah, both of these, there we go. Mac, another drive-in. That's what we like to see from the Kai forward. The strength of that barrage.
Mac again, and this time, Mac not even necessary. Harrison with a well-placed shot as the goal gates open. And I just like to highlight, Mac's going for the hits to the wall so often. The mix-up on timing, catching D4C out over and over again. It's such a safe play to go for.
It is very safe, very reliable. If you're looking to learn, that is a one to put in the playbook, because it is just very safe. It's very reliable, and wow, oh wow, no barriers are taken on either side.
Oh, but that's a little bit tragic. Fire Dragon in a tough spot there. Both barriers going down in an instant. Mac now trying to start a push of their own with Harrison as well. Lime Time tries to get it out of there, but the Strike War won. Oh, but the Expanse is not what Mac wants there. And Geomite to the bottom side, perfectly placed with the barrage to win the interaction and get a point back. But this set's going back and forth. Could go either way.
It could. It's looking like Harrison's kind of in charge, but there's still a lot. And a beautiful redirect there by Mac.
Yeah, Mac has been so good. Geomite has been so good as well. But Fire Dragon this time, a great weight on the save to get it out of the corner. And the barrier stays up. That's some good defense. And walking up to the center to get the Expanse as well. Now Mac with a lot of pressure, but Fire Dragon stepping in front of Geomite. And the KO's traded on both sides, standing too close to the edge. But Fire Dragon just walked right up past the Kai. Didn't even let the strike come through.
Yeah, that is probably just going to end up being a stall. But I think Harrison's Mac and Cheese has the advantage here on this stall, being able to get it forward a bit earlier. And yeah, if they can't clear this, it's looking a little bad. The flip, oh no.
Oh, but Harrison gets in there just in time. The barrier saved, the barrier taken by Mac on the other side, and now Harrison is flip available as well for insurance. It's whiffed there, but Mac has it. The barrage catches it. It gets right past D4C. That's a set right back. That's 3-1, and that's a draft that could be swinging the game into the favor of Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese.
Wow, Harrison crashed in like a superhero and saved that goal, that luck. That was beautiful, and for it, Mac is going to pick up probably the Chrono Boost. Yeah, we are hovering the Chrono Boost. I imagine that's what we're showing. That is very good.
Yeah, the Chrono Boost could be the entire difference maker on the breakaway plays. Siege Machine as well, a great take, a great deny. But one pick that I've been seeing overlooked here is that Unstoppable. That could be a huge pain. Same with the Spark of Leadership with the scaling. But Unstoppable on a goalie or even one of the scorers, one of the Kais, could have been really devastating as a pick there. Geomite going for the scaling option instead has a Spark of Agility. So if this game goes long, Geomite might be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, it's at this point it's sort of up to Harrison's Mac and Cheese to either make sure that scaling doesn't happen through denies or by ending before it can happen. And a kill has come from Harrison.
Yeah, big power play, but both barriers are open. Geomite creating these offensive opportunities as Mac and Harrison need to find one of their own, but the center is a bit of an obstacle. Geomite low, but not taken down, and has the stagger swagger's insurance. A great redirect by Lime after the cyber swipe makes that play so hard to read. A great score for Bogus Bunsen Bean.
Wow, I did not even read that it was going that way. The core just kind of showed up in the top part of the net. I had to rewatch. I was like, whoa, that's not where I thought that was going. Oh, what a Giga!
Yeah, great Giga and a great expanse to save it for now. Flip burned, one berry taken but traded on the other side. Mac now hunting for the core, the barrage into the corner, and a great strike to follow up. Mac with so much speed from the chrono boost has a lot of control over the offense here. Geomite, though, on the other side, trying to find some of their own. Mac to the bottom. Harrison has Flip available. A Giga Blast self-pass. That was almost everything, but saved away by D4C.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful Gigas here by Mac. A beautiful barrage and gonna be able to strike it in. Whoa. I mean, guys. That was a crazy sequence.
That was almost a save by Bogus Bunsen Bean, but not quite at the end.
Yeah, that was a crazy sequence. I could have sworn it was in whenever Mac hit it in, but then the glitch pop comes in to really be a save. I think if like the team was aware, you know, if it was a bit easier to read or something, I think it could have been saved. But that's very unfortunate. Oh wow.
And Mac again, right place, right time, following up on Harrison's rebound on the Supernova. This team looks to be super in sync, and I think I remember reading that Mac was a pretty late addition, right? Harrison and Fire Dragon know each other, and they picked up Mac.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be able to tell if you were just like, hey, is this player a recent addition to the team? I'd say no. That is a wow. Mac is perishing. Atlas is going to come out to the revive Stagger Swagger, so this isn't going to be too impactful, but
again, Fire Dragon just stepping a little bit ahead and gets a little lucky there, actually. The barrier not taken, which means Mac has a great chance, but they get lucky on the other side. What are the odds?
I mean, this is some so this is Atlas Lab at its finest. If the ball isn't going around the locks, I don't want it. Oh wait, Atlas is dead.
The power chord from Harrison takes out the Atlas with the goalie gone. That's a quick goal. That's another draft in the favor of Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese. This could be the last draft of the game. But that spark of strength needs to be denied away from the spark of leadership. That is so scary.
It is, and I think it's going to be able to be denied by the Vice, I assume. Max picking up that quick strikes. Very strong on Kai. Really any midfielder, and yeah, like I expected, Harrison's going to pick up that spark, make sure that scaling doesn't get out of hand. But even still, I think Geomite's okay. Fight or Flight is just as strong, if not more, depending on how you're playing and how you play it, as the quick strikes is. And you've also got Deadeye on your Amy, so a bit more damage to help you out. This could still go anybody's game.
Yeah, if they can focus Mac down quickly, that could be devastating as two barriers are taken. But Mac with the elusives, avoiding any unnecessary damage, but the goal is still open, and that's that biggest weakness of Atlas. That open net, but the core goes up. Harrison manages to get into the corner, but the possession isn't quite kept as D4C clears it away again. And Mac in the right position, though, actually gets knocked into the perfect spot to take that barrier.
Yeah, and Mac is... I think that was supposed to be a dribble, and unfortunately hit the bumper there. Go Giga. This is could be the first point of this set for the side of Bogus Bunsen Bean if they can put this in here.
It definitely could be, but Fire Dragon's not committing too hard to one side, and those plays are diffused for now. A great clear past Lime Time Cyber Swipe, and Lime Time sending it forward yet again. The Giga Blast is scary. Lime is being very devious with these glitch pops, setting up for Geomite, but the flip is available. Saves the goal for Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese, but that's another glitch pop. That's overtime ticking right over, and you hate to see it. You hear overtime tick over, the core goes a million miles per hour, and that one just flies right in.
Yeah, that's tragic. Overtime plus Deadeye, and that is a red core. And if you can get to overtime, you're looking good, right? But you have to get there first, and wow, overtime's not needed for red core, apparently.
Oh no, that's not where they wanted the core, and D4C gets credit for that goal. The core bouncing in a very strange way there. But 2-0 Bogus Bunsen Bean now in a pretty good spot here. If they win, if they get another spark onto Geomite, I'm pretty sure there's at least one still available. The game could swing right around with that spark of leadership take.
It could, and it looks like that's what they're trying to do, immediately going for this offensive pressure. A lot of the crucial damage is being dodged. Oh, and a good live there.
Yeah. A lot of meter on the side of Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese now. Bogus Munson Bean need to watch out for these flips. Flip taken away by Mac, looking for 2, but not quite. A great clear to avoid the glitch pop. Now Harrison trying to get into position here with that flip available. Puts a lot of damage available as well. Not quite, but the core comes all the way back around. The center doing chip as well, but Geomite's really tanky. I don't think they'll get a damage win condition here. In fact, Harrison is the one who has to watch out, but blinks away from the cyber swipe just in time. Staying alive as Mac goes in, but great defense from Bogus Bunsen Bean. All 3 members collapse on the core.
Yeah, able to get it out. Fire Dragon, if this core gets back, will probably be forced to burn flip here, and that's not what you want. There it is.
Oh, but a Strike War win against Geomite, keeping it alive still as the flip comes out again, blocked away by Lime Time this time, and Fire Dragon careful, hits it around Geomite, gets it away even in this overtime situation, but the barrage covers the out clear, and now it's so scary. The Strike War won by Lime Time. That's a set. We're going to set 5.
Set 5, and we have a spark of leadership on the board. If Geomite is able to get this extra spark, this could be really bad. There it is, the spark of focus. And then this Amy also has their option of extra special, timeless,
Yeah.
probably one of those. I can't imagine you go much else.
Spark
Losing
has to
the
be
aerials.
denied away. Spark has to be denied away, but Castelas is opted
It's
for
not.
instead, and this is insane scaling on the
Oh.
side of Bogus Bunsen Bean. They have everything they need to win this next set, but there is a small hope. There is specialized training on their side. They could get the knockback KOs from this Vice.
Yeah, if this Vice is able to find an ult, it will kill. It's very deceiving, once you pick up the spec training, and plus they got the pummelers. There's a lot here going for it.
But then
And no Spark of Rezel has been picked up, so
And
damage
also-
will matter.
Also, Mac did pick up the Among Titans. That's more flat speed on this already speedy Kai. Of course, it's going to be a little bit harder to strike, but with how much speed that Mac has, it might not even matter. But right now, kind of feeling the size a little bit. But Fire Dragon almost getting it out, managing to not lose 2 barriers there, but Geomite continues on the offense. And the glitch pops from Lime Time are just perfect. A Giga Blast attempted, but good clear away by Fire Dragon as they stay alive here. A Giga Blast attempted from Mac this time, a great clear from D4C. The defense has really leveled up this game. But Mac finds a shot. No, it bounces off the very corner. Goes to D4C. The save is made.
Yeah, both Atlases here finding very good saves. D4C is unfortunately lacking a barrier, but so is Fire Dragon, as I say it.
Fire Dragon now in a tough spot. Has flipped though. Has insurance. And a Giga Blast attempted from Mac. That was almost the entire goal. Not quite enough range. Now, fast shot blocked away by Mac. Mac has been the MVP so far and continues to make these saves happen. But the center blows up at a very unlucky time. Mac to the top side. Mac to the bottom. But the expanse lasts just long enough. But D4C can't react to the overtime speed. The core is just a little too fast. And that's Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese getting a point first.
Yeah, that team player plus overtime speed, you are going to send that core very, very fast. And if you're not able to keep paying attention, you will just occasionally lose it, and that could be detrimental, especially this late into the game.
Definitely could be, as Geomite is such a threat, but Fire Dragon plays it so carefully. Harrison has to watch out though. Almost KO'd, survives, heals up a little with that special from Fire Dragon. Now D4C and Lime Time on the top side, but the expanse lasts for so long. The Castelas pickup doing a little bit of work there. Geomite pushes it right through, and a great save from Harrison actually with the power cord sideways, and the barriers are open. A huge opportunity for Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese. The barrage saved away.
Geomite is looking a little low. Could it be dead? Oh, very, very close. Flipped, gone, burned.
Oh no, that KOs from there. A big striker advantage now is Geomite and Lime Time with the passing play. Maybe the knockback from Harrison. A great save by Harrison. But the glitch pop still sends the core forward. 3 more seconds to hold on, and the center helps out a little bit. Geomite now, Lime Time going in, but they survive. They continue the offense as Fire Dragon sends it forward, but the strike war is won by Geomite. The core speed. The team player coming online right now, and the flip burn from Lime Time for nothing. Huge opportunity if this team player speed can be abused. Max survives. The passing plays to Harrison to the top side, saved away, interrupted again as Mac now going for something. The special saved away by D4C. What a strike war win by D4C, holding absolutely everything right now as Bogus Bunsen Bean still managed to stay alive.
Yeah, this is a set that's going back and forth. That is so unfortunate. Eventually it will go in. The core is moving too fast. you just misread the bounce. You walk down, you would be able to get it. It doesn't. That's just not how it was. That was not what was in the cards.
One more point for Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese to move to 3-0 and guarantee a spot in the bracket no matter what happens in the next round. That's the type of insurance you want in a tournament like this, but it's not going to be easy. They put a lot of damage onto Lime. Mac keeps up the damage, actually. This could be a KO pretty soon, but Lime Time's getting healed up by the massive Celestial Intervention, and a barrier's taken on the other side by Geomite. Mac and Harrison now trying to push forward. The flip available through everyone, but Mac goes for it right through D4C, and that will be saved away. And the barrier's not taken either. The core goes right around. Bogus Bunsen being in a great spot in this round.
Mac bailed out by that Atlas res. You know, that can happen every once in a while, but you can't let that happen more than every 40 seconds. Oh.
What a flip. Both barriers already down. Fire Dragon now in a tough spot, and a great barrage by Geomite will push it right through and keep the game alive for Bogus Bunts and Bean. They're still in this. They have the spark of leadership and 2 sparks. It's going to be close.
It is going to be very close, and Bogus Bunts and Bean has a lot of energy coming up here. They could take this set here, and if they do, they'll be looking very good for the final set so long as they can survive the energy. Oh!
Yeah, it's tough. Mac's getting baited near the edge a lot and getting punished over and over again by Lime Time, the unspoken hero of this game for Bogus Bunts and Bean, as Geomite crossfires with the barrage. A great clear by Fire Dragon though, but Fire Dragon's taken out on the delayed KO by Lime Time. No goalie in the net, and Harrison waits a little too long. Lime Time getting the checkmate in. It's 2-2. Set 5.5. It could not be closer.
Yeah, this is about as even as it's going to get. You know, Harrison has a little bit more energy to work with, but neither team is close. This could really be anyone's game.
One barrier down already, and Mac gets KO'd again. The edge is so scary against this team. Fire Dragon clearing it away, almost getting a curve around. Fire Dragon almost getting KO'd. This glitch pop, the Cyber Swipe doing so much knockback. Lime Time scaled so hard, and with no goalie, they have to hold. But that's the barrier still up somehow. The barrier stays alive, and Mac has speed to interrupt everyone. Mac maintains possession as Harrison gets to clear. Fire Dragon's back, and somehow Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese are holding.
Both teams going back and forth, you know, this could be it here. They seem to cleared it out, and D4C is going to have to play his little bit of defense here.
Oh, what a Giga Blast play! What a pass to Giga Blast! Mac somehow creates the magic with Harrison. That's the barriers down now. They're somehow at a barrier advantage as Fire Dragon gets to clear away from the Firewall Sentry. Fire Dragon now to Harrison, looking for a passing play, but you gotta watch out when you're near the edges. Lime will get those KOs, and if they hang out, it's gonna be hard, but Harrison has built up core flip from the center, waited all the way from half court. That's the goal. That's Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese, moving on to 3-0.
Wow, I mean, yeah, Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese. Both teams played really well. I mean, both Kais are just landed Gigas left and right. Their barrages are very good, and then you've got 8 KOs on the side for Lime Time. I mean, the beautiful game by both teams. And yeah.
It was just a fantastic game, especially when the defense came in at the end. D4C, I think, on the replays, strike warring the Supernova from Harrison, and of course, the defense from the forwards of Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese. Harrison and Mac somehow keeping the barrier alive on the last point. The heroics were crazy.
Yeah, I mean, D4C with the balls of steel to not evade that, and it worked. It was, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of shocked. I was not expecting that hype of a game this early into the bracket, or not even in the bracket yet. We're in Swiss still. That was round 3 of Swiss.
They're only better matches, and these replays are a highlight reel of some of the craziness and how close the margins are too, right? That last core flip snuck right by a glitch pop, almost was in the strike box of D4C, but not quite, and that's the difference between Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese being 3-0 and Bogus Bunsen Bean being 2-1.
Yeah, that is beautiful. That is, you know, yeah, Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese confirming their spot. They will be in the bracket. And Bogus Bunsen Bean, I have my hopes up that they'll be in the bracket too. I kind of want to see the run back, you know? They're not out yet. They can still come in. They've still got their 3-1 possibility, and they played very well. And I'm just amazed, like actually amazed at how close of a game it was and how well every player performed.
Yeah, such a good game, but we're not going to bore you for too much longer. We're going to head to a quick break because of how long that game was. The other games have to be finishing up by now. So we'll head to a short break and we'll be right back for the final round of Swiss, and then we'll head to the bracket stage. See you in a bit. Hello, OSAS watchers. We're back with our final Swiss matchup. It's Chikara Hope versus Chikara Chills, a Chikara team kill, especially because only one of these two teams will be making it into the bracket stage.
Yeah. We are at the final stage, so all the teams currently sitting at 2-1 are playing for their qualification, like for the chance for bracket. And both Chikara teams, we've seen a lot of Chikara teams entered. I'm not actually sure how many are on their way up here, but I'm sure we'll see whenever we get the bracket made. In the meantime, these teams, Chikara Chills and Chikara Hope, right? That is what we're working with. Yep. Yeah, both are players. I think Chikara Chills had a very, very good run last week, I believe, right? 4th place?
I think?
No.
Wait.
They made it all the way up to bracket. They had a really good run up to bracket, I think. Mm-hmm. They were like undefeated or something. And I don't remember where they placed.
Yeah, Chikara Hope, I think, a team that's been doubted a lot more, but I don't know. I can definitely see them performing here.
Yeah, I think both teams, I think it's not really favored in anyone's ways. Unsure of how Chills is having, but I know, at least for Chikara, I know that both of these teams, not just both of these teams, but all of the Chikara teams have access to a wealth of resources. Coaching, team setups, scrims. There's a lot of things offered by Chikara, so both of these teams are well practiced and well versed, well kept. And that goes a long way, I think. It may seem like a lot of time that like Chikara teams are like not always performing well, but they do have a lot of resources to them, and the teams that do use those resources oftentimes end up going pretty high. And as far as I know, Chikara Hope and Chills do quite frequently use them. I know I've seen Chills, looking for scrims, trying to get practice in. I've seen Chikara Hope also respond to them. I think they might have scrimmed each other at some point. I've scrimmed them. Like, there's a lot that happens in Chikara, and I think both the teams are well prepared for today.
Yeah, but this is no scrim. This is for your ticket into bracket for a chance at the finale, and this is a bit of a tough matchup, and that's funny. There's another Chikara team kill, Chikara Kitsunes versus Chikara Kittens. Oh my, that's another 2-1 versus 2-1 matchup. Oh, hey. This bracket is brutal.
Yeah, that is unfortunately something that's going to happen when you're Chikara and you have as many teams as you do playing and competing. I believe it was Slifer has said that Chikara loves each other enough to team kill each other, and they don't I don't think any of them have any ill feelings. They all play well. They all just give it their best, and the team that wins is the team that wins. And I think I know all these players are pretty good, pretty friendly, pretty nice. I think there's a lot here. I know Superman guy and GoldenEye. Yeah, wait, I think I casted Superman guy and GoldenEye Don't Cares game last week. I don't think Lucy was in. I think they had a sub for her. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for this match. Team kills are always exciting because your team kills, and they're just more exciting. When two random teams eliminate each other, it's like, yeah, okay, I mean, whatever, right? It sucks. But when two people that are in the same org team kill each other, oh, I mean, I don't know. It's so nice to see. Maybe I'm just a bad person. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. You said it feels more important because it feels more important, and honestly, I agree.
Oh yeah. Not everything needs an explanation. Some things can just be better.
Yep, and Chikara Hope and Chikara Chills will try to show that one is just better than the other as we try to head into this game. Here the map picks and bans are winding down. And it appears that it will either be Night Market or Atlas Lab, which is crazy. Like, two of the most popular maps for a reason.
Yeah, two of the big three. That's pretty standard. I'm not too surprised. You know, thinking about what these players play. You know, the era I know is a big one. Both teams have an era in their pockets. I'm not too surprised. And we are going to Night Market, it looks like. Both teams have readied up on the Night Market. So we'll be getting in very, very shortly.
Yep, and Night Market's going to be a little interesting. I think teams generally favor the Atlas Lab a little bit over the Night Market, but this is the Chikara Chills pick, so do you have any secret information on some kind of edge they have here?
I'm not too surprised. Lucy is, as far as I know, an era player. Like, I'm pretty sure their entire profile on Discord is like era themed. I think like they're as close to an era main as you're gonna find. So I'm not surprised that they went here, where era's honestly one of the top picks for this map, right? Like, very, very strong. You get a lot of gate pressure, a lot of map presence with the NATO. It's very easy to just like dominate the midfield, and it is a Monu start. So this era is going to be huge if it gets through.
Yeah, and it looks like it will be getting through. And on the side of Chikara Hope, this is a much less scary Night Market comp to deal with. Rasmus and Vice, definitely not the team synergy we are looking for. But again, this is OSAS. You play your own game here, so anything could happen.
Yeah, it's seeming like we're going to be swapping up. Maybe get the Atlas? Nope, I think we're going to stick with the Mako, who's pretty well known. I'm very curious because it seems, wow, no era on a Monu start. That is not what I was expecting, especially from Lucy, who really prefers that era. At least I thought. I mean, maybe I don't know anything. I am not as well kept in the Chikara-verse as I thought.
They want to damage, it appears, with a heavy impact start, and a Monumentalist too, I believe, if my memory is correct. Just a heavy impact, though, on the side of Chikara Chills. They're going for these KOs quickly. And, of course, the Mako. Such a great pick with that heavy impact because of the cooldown reduction.
Yeah, oh, beautiful double barrier by Striker Rasmus.
Striker Rasmus, one of the few Striker accounts not by Striker Kai. Definitely an oddity here. But, no, that's someone completely different, and they're going in. And again, we mentioned OSAS is where you play your own game, and a character like Rasmus is one of those solo carry characters, right? And it just lets you play your own game no matter what.
Yeah, it's very easy to find a lot of value. You can kind of fill whatever weakness your team might have because of how versatile Rasmus is. And I'm going to trust that. It's really unfortunate. What is that? Is that a Vice primary moment? Chain Lightning? Yeah. I'm going to trust that somebody named Striker Rasmus is probably very comfortable on Rasmus, I'd have to say.
Yep. And it kind of makes me wonder why the Rasmus wasn't banned. They banned the IMU, right? Probably targeted at Shadow?
I believe that is a Shadow ban. I'm not really sure. Maybe they don't like playing against the Amy, which is completely fair. But I'm not too sure.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And the defense has been pretty solid from both of these Makos, but the offense has been pretty explosive. They've been hit around a lot, and as this damage scales up, it's going to be a lot harder to navigate this midfield, especially when it's slightly narrow on Night Market, especially when Striker Rasmus and Shadow are getting in there.
Yeah, we got a lot of pressure coming here. Oh, could be a barrier. Nope. Good save by Superman guy. Oh,
and
that cursed him.
That core flip is just struck away by Striker Rasmus. Lucy now with no meter, and Striker Rasmus getting the strikes. But this Monumentalist, such a weird take by Alfrex. It makes the special not as functional, and you're also not getting the heavy impact value, so it's just a little confusing to see.
Yeah, it is not really ideal for goalie, especially. Oh my, that was a little scary. Lucy looking a little low. Could end up perishing here if not careful, but I think she's okay.
Golden now trying to accelerate the core forwards as Lucy stays alive, still not falling, but that core flip's a little late in response. Shadow gets it right through. That's 2-0 in the favor of Chikara Hope.
That is, and you know, the one thing Chikara Hope has going for them is that if they can pull these first sets off, this Vice could stack a lot of damage, and you know, even this they could be 3-0 very soon if they're not careful.
Especially if they're near the edge like that. The Thunderstruck comes in. Striker Rasmus also low, but still has some meter to work with here and doesn't die to the ensnared drums, but does get hooked away by Golden. The core gets dodged away from the Monumentalist as well. And can they make something of this power play is the question, especially when Shadow's blinking in like that and Superman guy's lagging a little bit. It's getting a little concerning.
Yeah, seems a bit of some ping issues that hopefully aren't permanent, and if they are, I mean, the ping may be Superman guy's kryptonite.
They're still trying to find an offensive play, but Striker Rasmus is in position, and one wrong move could mean a goal here, especially when Shadow is there to strike as well. Secondary comes out, and Striker Rasmus with the speed gets in there. Superman guy. Not many clear angles available, and that's 3-0 early. That's what you want to see out of the Rasmus here, especially when Vice's first pick for the damage scaling. And yeah, this is tough.
Yeah, this is really rough. This Vice has the capability of denying Stagger Swagger, and you know, that would be enough. Opting into the Chrono Boost, that was the last thing I would have expected. Yeah, I'm really not sure.
It's an interesting pick, but it drops down so much power. Like Rapid Fire falls down all the way to the last pick, Lucy, and 1-2 punch as well to Golden. And this draft just feels like, even though there were great picks, right? Stagger Swagger, Chrono Boost in a vacuum is pretty solid as well. Team Player is always very good. Even still, I feel like Chikara Chills are pretty happy with this draft, especially after that double barrier.
Yeah, Chikara's Chills are looking really nice. Got this Missile Pop, the Rapid Fire, the 1-2. Like, you got a lot of damage on your team now and a lot of cooldowns. This is kind of what you need if you're this kill comp, and not much survivability is in the game right now with the removal of peak performance and all the Stagger Awakenings, right? We've only got Stagger Swagger, which has been picked up by Striker Rasmus. But outside of that, all we have left is what? Like, Recovery Drone, which isn't really going to help you very much. Rezil and Unstop. Like, there's not much here, and if the damage gets too out of control for the side of Chikara Chills, it could be very bad for Hope.
It definitely could. It's going to be tough to deal with, and we'll have to see what's going on here. I'm not quite sure what the answer will be, but when the goal's open, they always have a chance to score, and they're going to try to capitalize, especially with meter on Superman guy. A lot of damage onto Shadow, the KO onto Shadow, the 1-2 punch putting in work as Lucy sends the core forward yet again, but they can't really get these passing plays. Striker Rasmus is interrupting them over and over.
Striker Rasmus looking a little bit like Striker Guy there, you know, outside the fact that he's not on Kai, but he is cutting those passes very well, doing what he needs to do to shut down that power play.
Now it's scary because they're not scoring on the open net, and the members of Chikara Hope are surviving. Striker Rasmus regenning so fast, almost getting taken out, but still surviving. And with that survival on Striker Rasmus, now it gets really scary for Chikara Chills, as the barriers could be chipped down here, and the core speed is accelerating in overtime thanks to that team player.
Yeah, this core is going to be going very fast from here on, and you really need to get you either need to find this kill on Striker Rasmus or you need to get this ball in. Either one needs to happen. But I feel like if you lose, Striker Rasmus will take the barrier like he has proven to do.
Core drifting in midfield. They're trying to find a goal here, and that Finny special will not be the answer as it's passed up to Shadow. What a great passing play from Chikara Hope, and 2-0, one set up. They're looking so good right now.
They are. Chikara Rasmus, wow, Chikara Rasmus, yeah. Yeah, they own that. Yeah, Striker Rasmus is just not able to be KO'd. It seems the Stagger Spiker putting in a massive amount of work and also, some unfortunate abilities being missed. And they're set point here with an open net.
Set point with a lot of scaling on the table here. And that Supernova sends the core just a little too fast to catch for Superman Guy. That's 2 sets up. That's Chikara Hope looking really, really good heading into this potential final set. We'll see what's on the table for the Vice. And there's quite a few options, actually. Extra special, of course, but also could opt for a number of different options here. But it's just going to be the old reliable extra special.
The Happy Star on Vice going to get you a lot more ults. You have Striker Rasmus picking up this Demolitionist. That is very scary considering how effective he already is without the size. And of course you get your Mako Glass, which on goalies the speed is really, really nice, not just for being able to move around your net, but also for being able to walk up and help your forwards keep the pressure. And you really didn't get too much for the side of Chikara Chills. I mean, you got a prime time, so Superman Guy might be able to keep some pressure up with the absolute missiles he's sending from his net. An explosive interest on this Kazan, but that's really not that much in comparison.
Yeah, especially when Glass Cannon actually ticks Alfrix on over to red coring with team player. When the Glass Cannon stacks are up, it gets past the threshold, I believe, so it will definitely be a lot more threatening even when it's not overtime yet. The core is going to be moving that much more fast, and if Striker Rasmus can get in position with Shadow, the passing plays can come through, but for now it is Chikara Chills with the barrier advantage and a lot of damage on Striker Rasmus. Striker Rasmus staggered as well, and maybe they can make something happen here.
Yeah, we have a power play for the side of Chills available and a good evade. Not going to end up getting chunked for half your HP. If they can put this in, they'll be looking very good.
But they've been in this situation before, and it's not been successful last time. Alfrix defending for so long. Golden this time trying to get a strike in for the goal. Not quite. Defended away by Alfrix over and over again. The flip goes through. Finally a strike war win by Golden will put Chikara Chills on the board, but they're in such a massive deficit right now.
Yeah, I was going to say that Golden does not care, but you kind of have to care. These sets are taking, or these rounds are taking a little bit long. A bit of length to them, and that's not really what you want. Into this Vice, who is going to whittle you down, and yeah, you might favor it because you want the damage, but you have to get the kill, and then you have to take the barrier off of it,
and you also have to deal with overtime team player from Alfrix as well, so
yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's just not in your favor so far.
Yeah, they need to rush down these points, but it feels like all 3 members of Chikara Chills are permanently on the defense because of how fast Striker Rasmus and Shadow move into position. Especially like that, winning the strike war, getting the stun on the core and the teleport in from Shadow, and Striker Rasmus with the core flip available as well. It gets to Striker Rasmus. Oh, what? Ooh, what a confident attempt to try and go for the stun into core flip, trying to make Superman Guy panic a little as Alfrix actually own barriers, and maybe the hubris of Striker Rasmus could be their undoing as another shot goes wide. Chikara Chills could make it happen here.
Yeah, this Monu, wow, red core off the Monu, and oh my!
Oh. Yeah, well, that's a tough spot for Superman Guy. Got quite a few good saves. The core bounced a million miles an hour, and the other clear angle was blocked away by Shadow. And Chikara Hope are in such a good spot too. A lot of meter on Shadow and Alfrix, a lot of insurance, and Striker Rasmus right off the gate, going right in. And I think a lot of this game is actually Striker Rasmus is controlling the center speed very well, and that speed is just allowing them to outpace everyone.
Yeah, and while you're faster, it's really hard to kill, but Chills may have found the answer. Just ignore Striker Rasmus, kill the midfielder, and what is he going to do?
Right, but Striker Rasmus all by themselves, getting in there, getting nothing actually. Golden the one getting the barrier on the other side. One barrier taken on the other side though. Striker Rasmus going in with the pendulum swing, not quite as Superman Guy gets the save, but the core again moving a little too fast, a little too hard to save. The barriers go down. Chikara Chills in there with the power cord this time.
Yeah, very very unfortunate. Second getting at that red core speed that lets you push through that Mako secondary. And we're looking at potentially match point for Chikara Hope if they can close this out.
Potentially match point. Shadow and Striker Rasmus trying to get into position. One barrier taken, and that's the team player strike shot from Alfrix. So scary, so annoying to deal with if you're the defenses of Chikara Chills. Now with Alfrix and Shadow. Golden, though, keeping the core trapped in the corner, forcing out a barrier take on the other side. Chikara Chills are not done yet, but Chikara Hope are going in. Striker Rasmus with the barrier take. Striker Rasmus with the Strike War win. That's Chikara Hope moving on to bracket and crushing the hopes of Chikara Chills.
Yeah, that is very sad for the side of Chikara Chills. You will not be making it to bracket this time, unfortunately. You know, and after last week's performance, I thought they might. I kind of figured they'd be up here, and maybe this just is an unfortunate run, you know. But yeah, Chikara Hope really kind of just dominating. I can't really say it was like that close. It felt like Chills never really got a chance to get off the ground. It seemed like every round they were just like beat in the Mako secondary. You're buffing the, you know, while the Vice might not be a great pick, the Mako kind of makes up for the lack of speed. And like lets the Vice kind of do what they want.
Yeah,
and then you have Striker Rasmus.
A chilling 7% to 93% prediction. By the way, the channel points are trading hands because certain people were a little too confident in Chikara Chills. And it looks like Chikara Kittens has won the other Chikara Civil War to qualify. They take it over to Kitsune's. But there's also other Chikara matchups for 2 and 1. Chikara Candy versus Chikara Cheating. What?
Yeah. The Chikara Slaughter. They're eating each other alive down there.
Yeah, incredible. But yeah, great performance by Chikara Hope. They will be chilling since they're in the bracket. But of course, 3-1 teams, all except one, I believe, go into the loser side. So they can't rest too easy once they're in that bracket phase.
Yeah, a lot of potential here. We'll see who the bracket got coming up. That was the last round of Swiss, right? Yep, that is round 4.
But the round's not complete.
It is not. But so far, I think are guaranteed, right? The ones that are guaranteed to be making it are Chikara Hope, Gorilla Hatchbacks, and Chikara Kittens. Right, those are like guaranteed at this point. That 3-1.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess that would also mean that Amy Enjoyers, Sleepyheads, Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese, who, I mean, gave us the Osis's strongest game. Wow. Team 13 and Guest Star will all have a guaranteed spot in. So yeah, 3 teams left. 3 spots left, right? Is it top 11 or top 12? I'm looking at the start and it's saying top 11, but that doesn't seem right.
I think it depends. Like, there's a chance it's top 11, there's a chance it's top 12.
Really? Does one person get a bye? How does top 11 work?
No, it's all... Hello, let's see. I think it's all 3-1 and 4-0 teams make it, right?
Yes.
And there are 4 teams in winners. 3 4-0 teams and 1 3-1 team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
and the rest
somebody
are
gets a
losers.
bye to losers round 2. Ah, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, we have 3 slots left. Of people, and you know, they're not guaranteed, so teams can swap around, but there are 3 remaining slots that are not locked. You know, the teams I've mentioned, the teams I've already said, they're guaranteed in because they're 3-0 or 3 or 4, 3-1 or 3-1 at the minimum.
Mm-hmm. So I think I'm actually seeing Unfortunately, Harrison's Fire Mac and Cheese have fallen to the scariest team in this bracket, Animal Style OSAS. Scandals, Matu, and Moshi, OSAS's strongest warriors, have all shown up to put a stop to the mac and cheesing.
Yeah, but even Animal Style Osis is not undefeated this time. They are not 4-0.
Wait, what? Oh, they are not. They're
They
3-1.
lost to Sleepyheads. I mean, whoa, what a crazy upset.
Yeah, the Sleepyheads, Aluk Naptime, and Hoodie. Not the team I would expect to beat Animal Style OSAS, actually. They, I believe, made it to bracket stage last time. And
I
didn't
do
qualify.
remember seeing them.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, good on Sleepyheads for that. That's a pretty good win. I'm not sure how they are in the standings right now, but yeah, that is a really good win considering that Animal Style Osis or Osis Style Animal. I don't know, Animal Style Osis. Yeah. I'm so mixed up, man. There's so many Animal Styles and Chikaras and Seraphims, and man.
It is funny though. At this point of Swiss, we have yet to crown a 4-0 team.
Yeah, nobody. There's a couple potential candidates. We got Amy Enjoyers. Amy Enjoyers, Sleepyheads could actually be the 4-0.
Yeah,
They're 3-0 right now.
It could
Team
be
13 Guest Star.
Yeah, those are the 4 candidates for 4-0 and guaranteeing. Wait, no, wait. Doesn't this mean there's a clean 2 teams that are 4-0? Doesn't this change the bracket up a ton?
Wait,
it does. Wait, this is a huge development.
Yeah, because that means that 3-1 isn't guaranteed, right?
Yeah, because there's only going to be 2 4-0, right? And the rest of the 3-1 teams will make it to bracket.
Yes, that is how that would work.
So it's effectively a single elimination bracket of 3-1 teams. Huh. Crazy it panned out that way.
Guys, look what Swiss does. Swiss beautiful.
That's crazy.
How's it looking? How's the rounds looking? We still got a lot of rounds in progress. People really fighting for their spot. We got Team 13 versus Amy Enjoyers. Oh wait, yeah, Team 13 versus Amy Enjoyers. That's a pretty good game. That's going to be one of our 4-0s. It's Sleepyheads versus Guest Stars. I'm predicting it now. Our 4-0s, our Amy Enjoyers, and I have to give it to Sleepyheads. They took down Animal Style Osis. Like that, they've got to be feeling it, you know?
Alright, but the Enjoyers have won. And we're waiting on the Sleepyheads versus Guest Star, question mark.
Let it be known that if I guessed wrong, no I didn't. I've always been a Guest Star fan. I vote for the winning team. You know how it is.
Wait, I'm lost. Give me a second.
What would I be lost about?
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I was just confused on exactly how the bracket went. But okay, so just to clarify, it looks like we'll be having 2 4-0 teams in winners facing off against 2 3-1 teams with the best tiebreakers. So 2 lucky 3-1 teams that had the best tiebreakers will be in winners, and the rest will be in losers. It'll definitely be
Hey,
interesting.
that is the price you pay for being 3-1. Sometimes you have to go against the 4-0.
Yeah, but you're still in winners.
Yeah, that's true. You still are in winners. That does give you an extra chance, so it's super chill, and you get like a super free buy all the way till to losers, right? Because of bracket. You can put like in what, quarterfinal if you start in winner side. Yeah.
Okay, well, it looks like we're gonna be taking a short break until bracket. Don't go anywhere. See ya.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna see us either. It's gonna be like Lego Mage and Nubsta. So see ya for real. Anything you want to say,
Oh
Hua?
yeah. No, I'm good.
Hi,
I'm
good.
gonna go watch.
Bye,
I'm
good.
gonna. I gotta go. Oh, noodles.
And welcome back to OSAS. Wow, I have the stream open. That's really dumb. Okay, let's try that again. Welcome back to OSAS Season 5. We are now in the winner's bracket, winner's side now with the teams here. And the team that wins this actually goes on to the finale, as well as the following game that we're playing. And I'm Nubsta, joined here with Lego Mage 15. That intro went perfectly, I have to say.
I say hit every important point, but yeah, we're here in week 2 looking to see who can qualify, and we have a pretty nice match coming up for you just shortly. We got BestieInSlot. They've been here before. I think they were here last season as well. Definitely a contender. Everyone was thinking that they're going to qualify sometime soon, so this looks like this could be their chance versus Guest Star, question mark, who I think is a first time, or at least first season appearance. I don't recognize their players or the team name, but 4-0 for BestieInSlot and Guest Star coming in 3-1, so it's looking to be a pretty solid matchup.
Yeah, despite their 3-1, as far as I've been told, they've been doing quite well, especially being one of the more new teams to OSAS, right? Especially with the kind of dwindling community. It's nice to see these new players really take up the mantle and try and take that extra step forward. Whether they continue with it or not is really up to them, but it's good to see them here in OSAS competing with some of the more seasoned players, especially Overgrown Lemon and Bloody Blossom, who we tend to see, either in norms or sometimes even the comp queues.
Yeah, and regular contenders of this bracket as well. BestieInSlot, I've seen them, and I want to say at least one other tournament that wasn't OSAS. I don't remember what it was, but I know as a team they've been around for a fair bit competing in this. So they're definitely, I think, the more veteran team here, a little bit more experienced possibly, but they always put on a very good show. And I mean, they've been here for a minute. I know they're looking to qualify, so they just need to get past this one hurdle and they can make it to the finale. But Guest Star as well. We always tend to see upsets in this series. It's one of the great things about it is you never really know who's going to win, especially when you have a wildcard team like Guest Star.
Indeed. I know that Vaughn a while ago, I think it was OSAS Season 2, like the very start of it, was talking about how OSAS tends to have arguably the more entertaining content, if anything, in Omega Strikers, because as you said, you can get those kind of X factors, those players who just suddenly have like an Omega Strikers epiphany and go just absolutely nuts and 1v9 the entire lobby out of nowhere on a team that you would have never expected to win just simply because of their previous performance. So with upsets like that can happen, and the kind of volatility that comes with OSAS games, it can prove to be quite an entertaining watch.
I mean, yeah, definitely. We see it all the time, especially when there's maybe, especially like this season, there's a very high turnout of teams, and a lot of them were teams that had never signed up for OSAS before, and a lot of names on those teams are ones that I have never even recognized. But this goes even back into last season as well. Some of the most entertaining teams to watch. You got like Restel, Goku at Burger King. Last week, we had Wizard City Warriors show up and just put on an amazing show. And BestieInSlot has kind of been here through all of that as well. And they've been, they've been keeping up. They just haven't, unfortunately, been able to qualify just yet. But I mean, they're back once again in this top bracket. I think. Are they the only? No. There's two 4-0 teams. That's right. It's BestieInSlot and Sleepyheads. So 2 of the only 4-0 teams off of our Swiss as well. So they're looking very good coming into this, and I'm just excited to see what they bring to the table here once they finish their map bans.
Yeah, I'm also excited to see how Mycotic Randor and Life 1312 kind of stand up here, right? Going 3-1 against some of these OSAS teams who have been around for a while and aren't necessarily pushovers by any means. Being able to climb through that Swiss and make it here to winner's side gives them a great opportunity to qualify for the finale and push their dreams even further on one of their first outings in OSAS Season 5.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. This winner's side bracket was only open to like 4 teams. So to be in the top 4 out of like, what was it, like 37 teams is certainly very impressive. I mean, they had to climb over like 80 Chikara teams and a couple Seraphim teams as well to get there, as well as Animal Style OSAS, who are also looking very strong. So, I mean, to be in that top 4 just at all, especially as I don't want to say like a new team, but it's a team that we haven't seen here before, is always very impressive. And I feel like it tends to be like when we see those teams that have just never shown up before, first time out, and they put on like a crazy performance and get up into the bracket like this, they tend to be the ones who like end up doing an insane run and end up maybe qualifying or even getting into the the top like 4 or so of the finale. It's kind of wild in that sense, and I'm curious to see if Guest Star is going to be that team, or if the veteran IME enjoyers will manage to find the qualification.
Yeah, we've had a number of like teams that kind of showed up out of nowhere, or at least players that showed up out of nowhere and just absolutely impressed the entire field, right? I believe Season 1, I don't know if Katsuna's team was entirely comprised back then, but I know Katsuna had a team in Season 1 that ended up winning the OSAS, and then eventually they made their way into NASA and then Nassau, if I'm not mistaken. And then Season 2, you had Seraphim...
Rose Gold.
Rose Gold, yeah.
Yeah.
And Cloak just came out of nowhere as what was an IME almost one trick and became the Rasmus Zentaro 2 trick in OSAS that just kind of dominated the scene and took them to the win with the team on his back. But we are getting into game here, and let's see if Guest Star can make that appearance like Cloak, like Katsuna, and others that have come before as we get into Night Market here.
Yeah, going to be a pretty interesting one here. This Night Market match, we got Among Titans and Knife's Edge on the board. It looks like it's going to be a Rasmus ban and a Juliet ban coming out from these teams. Don't want to see those guys around. Juliet pretty strong on this map. Looks like Bloody Blossom going to go for that Era pick. Definitely a staple of Night Market here. That Among Titans as well. Probably going to be a very nice pickup. Sawyer on the Mako goalie. Looks like a Mako Mir as well coming out here. So that's always interesting, as Overgrown Lemon still hovering that X. Most likely going to see that Era X Mako combo, kind of the standard for this. So they're sticking to their guns here. And similar comp on the other side, except for the IME replacing the Era. So less buffs and a bit more aggression in the midfield coming out from Guest Star.
Yeah, Life 1312 opting for the IME here instead of what would be assumed to be a mirror matchup in the Era Mako X. One of the strongest teams on Night Market. That those tight lanes make X very hard to pass around. Era becomes a lot stronger with her Maelstroms. And so with the IME here, the IME actually provides a lot more damage and a lot more ways to reposition the core from a distance. But can IME outscale the ability for Era to just kind of take over the game if she gets the right awakenings?
Yeah, definitely going to be a bit of a game of scaling. The Era Mako X can go pretty hard into the late game. Guest Star's team as well is 2/3 of the same. They will be the first ones to pick up a goal here, but letting that Era be able to get kind of whatever awakenings that they want is going to be a bit rough, but opening up with the first goal like that is a good sign of life. Looks like we do have a bit of an energy advantage here as well, but core flips will be up for everyone this round, so we'll just have to see how they play this. A big double barrier, though, coming out from IME enjoyers as Sawyer in the midfield. Going to pass it up. The cage from Mycotic is going to shut it down. Overgrown Lemon taking a lot of damage. Core flip's going to have to come out from Mycotic to get it out of that situation, but Buddy Blossom is still in this top side. Can't quite get the offensive pressure with Overgrown Lemon falling back here, though.
Ooh, good evade from Randor. Keeps him in the play despite being low health. And now a flipped use from Life 1312 means they're not going to be able to have the pressure that they want here, especially with Randor still kind of being down in HP. And a flip coming out from Buddy Blossom, trying to get it forward, but Overgrown Lemon does not beat out Mycotic's secondary there. And now the X's are just brawling it out in the center. And one X comes out on top. Randor gets the thing, but Bloody Blossom gets the snipe on the pass with the Bewitching Beam and brings it to an even set.
Very nice little set there from Bloody Blossom. Yeah, Mycotic does need to look out for those clear angles. Needs to find the safe one. Didn't necessarily think about the range on that, but it can be forgiven. But this being said, IMENJOYERS starting off with an explosive little kickoff there, getting both barriers. Randor will block the core flip from Sawyer and fire back with 2 barriers of their own, though. It's now in the hands of Overgrown Lemon, looking for the dribble, getting a pass back up from Bloody Blossom, but the players of Guestar able to get it out of there and back up into the midfield. Randor looking for a goal here in this top side, but Bloody Blossom on the defense going to get it back up into the goal box. Overgrown Lemon with the strike war against life will find the point, though, as IMENJOYERS now up set point here in a little bit of a comeback after losing that first one.
I just noticed that Life 1312 actually opted for the Magnetized Souls. I know I used to think that gear was really good on this map, but it proved not to be, and I think we might have an AFK from Overgrown Lemon. Nope, seems to be back in the game, and is no longer in the game, having been KO'd, but both X's are off the field, and now it's just a midfield versus goalie battle.
Yeah, both X's taking a bit of a trade there, so not much pressure for the moment. Overgrown Lemon back alive, but doesn't seem to be aware of it, just kind of standing still, maybe disconnected or went AFK for a moment, but the play continues as IMENJOYERS are able to hold it down in the midfield. We're entering overtime. Looks like an IME shock coming out from Overgrown Lemon. There might be something wrong over there potentially, but they are still going for now. They will probably finish out this round as Randor looking to push this top barrier, brings out the bell ringer, but the 2 defensive members here from IMENJOYERS will hold it down for now. Sawyer has a core flip up as well, should anything go dangerously wrong, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get out of this corner. That being said, Sawyer, great core flip to send it over to the other side and pick up a barrier as well. Now Bloody Blossom in the midfield looking for another one. Mycotic, though, just going to send it right back up, and the pressure from the forwards will be enough to bring down this second barrier and open up IMENJOYERS in this overtime here. Bloody Blossom can't quite grab that second barrier as Randor pushing up the field. The cage is going to come out. Sawyer, incredible defense, holds it down, but can't get it through the midfield. Life with the cyber swipes will find the point, and it looks like Overgrown Lemon has in fact disconnected.
Yeah, losing the connection, unfortunately losing them the point. And I think, no, it doesn't reset your energy, but got his energy reset anyway from the KO earlier. But it looks like he's back in, and looks like play will continue. And we'll see how this... Yeah, they opted to just go for the normal kickoff. Overgrown Lemon actually immediately gets a barrier, despite being gone. And it is unfortunate that they lost that point there, now losing both barriers. But can they turn it around here to take this set despite having to basically give up a point for free?
Oh, it's going to be close. Overgrown Lemon is down. Randor has a core flip up, pushing it up the field here. Life can't quite reach the core, though. Sawyer will get away with that risky out clear. And now in the hands of Bloody Blossom, looking to just keep it up the field, waiting for this X to respawn. There we go, but back in the hands of Randor with the core flip up. Goes for the bull rush into core flip, gets it through Sawyer. Not even a chance to core flip in return, as Guestar will take set 1.
Yeah, just really unlucky to basically lose a guaranteed point. They held it, IMENJOYERS held it down in the 2v3 for a long time, but you can really realistically only hold it down for so long, being down that player, and Spark of Leadership is here on the board, Lego Mage.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, definitely a scary pickup, especially this early in. Spark of Resilience will fall, but the other 3 still available to be picked up later in the game. So now Guestar have their kind of late game answer here. Chrono Boost will go over to the Mako and Monumentalist onto the Era here. As Life going to pick up the Timeless Creator on the IME, and Mycotic with the Deadeye pick at the bottom. Not a lot to choose from there. So all around, not too bad of a draft for either side. An ace from Randor with the double kill. Well, they're just going to sink it right in. What just happened?
I was lost. I was watching Life fight for their life in against the Maelstrom, and then suddenly the entirety of IMENJOYERS is just gone. Like, it doesn't matter if you have Monumentalist enter or chrono boost Mako if you just KO them! Exclamation point.
I mean, for sure. I guess they just ended up standing a bit too close to that edge there, and that knife's edge kicked in. Some of that knockback kicked in. I think Mycotic got a kill there as well. We'll have to see it on the replay, but that was a pretty insane way to start off the set. Enjoyers will return with 2 barriers on this second round here. Randor is a bit hurt as well, going to be knocked around a bit in this goal box, but Overgrown Lemon taking a fair bit of damage themselves here. Bloody Blossom going down to this bottom side. The cage is going to come out from Mycotic, and another KO onto Overgrown Lemon. Just cannot catch a break. Still stuck at level 3 here. Corflip coming out from life gets blocked by Bloody Blossom, who's now pushing up the field, looking for this bottom side, but Mycotic will be able to Corflip it and get it up to Randor to score a barrier of their own instead. Overgrown Lemon immediately X-Maximus off of respawn, trying to pass it up into the storm here, but it's going to time out just a little too soon, dribbling in the midfield. Overgrown Lemon going for the bull rush. They still have the offensive pressure in this overtime. Nice little pass there from Bloody Blossom, able to get it to Overgrown Lemon to find the point and fire right back.
Wow, the size from Bewitching Beam there actually saving that goal. The Overgrown Lemon barely able to reach that at the edge of the Giant X's hitbox and able to find that goal. But I have to say, Lego Mage, right now it's kind of a tale of 2 Makos. We have Sawyer with the Sawyer happy face taking Chrono Boost to give the team that boosted damage, but here if you see here, Mycotic takes the Deadeye and is just absolutely obliterating Overgrown Lemon's X.
Yeah, Overgrown Lemon has gotten KO'd so many times, even just by that cage, and only recently kind of hit level 4 off of that last goal, but was stuck at level 3 for a while there against Randor's like level 5 or 6. We'll pick up another one here. Nice little X Maximus to punch it through as they're looking to earn back some of this XP and kind of even it out. But Enjoyers are still going hard and looking to take this set with just 1 more point.
Just excellent pressure from Enjoyers there. Bloody Blossom really covering that backside for Overgrown Lemon so that he doesn't have to worry about any eccentric clears that Mycotic might be going for, and Life 1312 just not able to make it work for their team. As look at this pressure from Bloody Blossom and Lemon as they get all the speed from Era and Mako. It's just unstoppable, it feels like.
Yeah, the speed is definitely strong. The buffs on buffs goes hard, but there is an energy advantage on the side of Guest Star. Corflip will be burnt there by Mycotic, but it's a very dangerous situation in this goal box. Able to get it out, push it up. Randor will burn the Corflip, but get the goal barrier in return, getting it back up to Overgrown Lemon, though. A Corflip into a bull rush is going to be enough to shove it right in, as Enjoyers are going to take the set 3-1. And let's see, who's the MVP? Oh yeah, Bloody Blossom, MVP, and let's see what the reward will be.
Primetime Era.
Oh yeah.
Or Quick Strike even.
Yeah, Spark of Agility as well is on this board, and there was a Spark of Leadership pick on Randor earlier, so we'll have to see if that goes.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like they might just give it over, which could honestly come back to bite them. Right now, they're kind of beating Guest Star ? With speed, but now that everyone gets a little bit more speed from Spark of Leadership and threatens to get even more if another Spark is acquired, it could kind of snowball out of control if they're not careful.
Yeah, Randor, especially the Spark of Agility, is arguably one of the strongest ones. If you can only have 1 or 2, it's like cooldown and speed are kind of what you're aiming for. So with the potential, oh my goodness, another big KO coming out there. As who is that? Bloody Blossom got taken out there. Randor just on a bit of a rampage here as they're continuing this push up. Another barrier goes down. Life continuing up in this midfield. Overgrown Lemon finally able to get it through with a little help from Bloody Blossom, now pushing at barriers of their own. So you're going to keep sending it in with that primary. But now it's Life pushing up, burning the cooldowns, but not quite able to find the angle. Mycotic Corflip comes out, gets him blocked by Overgrown Lemon. A barrier goes down. Now pushing to the bottom side. Overgrown Lemon has a Corflip up, but Life with the strike will attempt it once, but not twice. Overgrown Lemon burns out the Corflip. It will get stalled out though, but the barrier has fallen as both teams open. Randor with the Corflip, gonna be blocked by Sawyer though. Great save. Overgrown Lemon just playing for their life a little bit. The cage is gonna come out onto Randor here as Sawyer with a dangerous little clear, but it will pay off. Life in the midfield goes for the Corflip, firing into the bottom. Corflip from Sawyer. It's gonna block it. Now Overgrown Lemon with the X Maximus dribble finds a bottom shot, and Enjoyers score first in a very exciting little round there for that first point in overtime.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, what killed Bloody Blossom there was not Randor, but actually the Tale of Two Mako strikes again. Mycotic opting for the Missile Prop Deadeye. This Mako is just swinging for the fences right now, and honestly hitting some great base hits for right now, but could turn into some home runs later on. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch what actually got the KO there, but yeah, Mycotic has definitely been on a warpath with that Deadeye, so it doesn't surprise me at all. Speaking of which, Overgrown Lemon, once again, very hurt, but a Storm from Bloody Blossom is going to keep the entirety of a Guest Star out of the play as the barrier goes down. This is going to sink it right in, bring it to set point.
Guest Star smelling a little too much blood there kind of allows Bloody Blossom to strike it right through two people who both had strike up and ready to go, but just opted to try and go for the KO onto Overgrown Lemon and loses their barrier, and then Bloody Blossom's just in the right spot to make that goal, but they lose both barriers here. Their pressure's not really coming in despite that Maelstrom coming in, and now it's up to Randor to make this point happen, but stuffed away by the Ensnare Drums. But it doesn't matter.
Oh my goodness. Earned the core flip off of the hit, but didn't even matter. Just stuffed it right in. Immediate X Maximus off of that Bull Rush. Looks like Guest Star will be putting themselves on the board here. Randor does have a core flip, but so does Overgrown Lemon. They need to keep this set alive if they want a chance to keep this going. Both barriers down immediately, and oh my gosh, an 8-second goal from Overgrown Lemon. Just walks it right up the field, both barriers, and sinks it in. Didn't even need to core flip that.
That was one of the most impressive dribbles I've ever seen. Overgrown Lemon using the X Maximus for the strike reset, bounces it off the goal gate just barely between Mycotic and Life. Mycotic misses the strike, and Overgrown Lemon just hits it right into the barrier, and then is able to just kind of do some fancy footwork and get it around the defense, and is rewarded. They're rewarded with us, well, in this case, denying a spark because it's the only spark available, but. Extra special coming over for Overgrown Lemon with the Castellas and Quick Strike. I think this X has scaled, Lego Mage.
Yeah, Castellas, Quick Strike, Extra Special X. This is a little bit terrifying to look, and Knife's Edge as well. It's just the cherry on top, but it's actually Randor who finds the KO into the double barrier and just continues the onslaught, pushing up the field. A glitch pot from Life to send it back in, and up at the top corner here, Life is able to cover that angle and sink it right in. I mean, I know we just said that Overgrown Lemon scaled, but they didn't even have a chance to fight there at all. Randor just walked it up and said, hey, you got an 8-second goal last time, let me return the favor.
I mean, Guest Star taking a one from the pages of Doug, and thinking big right now, as all three of them have taken size in the last draft, and it's proven to be quite effective here, despite losing both their barriers. Look how big these guys are. They just don't lose the strike force as much anymore, and gets the KO.
Massive KO from Randor, and the recovery drone will bring him back to life. Core flip's going to come out, but get blocked by Overgrown Lemon here. They're taking a fair bit of damage themselves. The case comes out from Mycotic, but will not land this time. Like clearing it back up into this top side is Bloody Blossom back online now, pushing up on this bottom corner. Overgrown Lemon taking a lot of damage, but in position to score. The Storm comes out in a big double KO. Overgrown Lemon and Bloody Blossom together have taken out everyone except for Life, as now it's just a matter of time. Sawyer just needs to get this core up to Overgrown Lemon with the strike war. There it is. All three members goal participation right there for Ivy Enjoyers, and I think we have ourselves a game.
I mean, Guest Star earlier took all three players off the field, and I mean Enjoyers was not having it, so they decided to return the favor, get themselves a nice easy goal to tie the set here. But Overgrown Lemon and Bloody Blossom, just when Bloody Blossom is on the field, they are able to take this pressure, and look at that, just do the damage, do the Lockbruner straight shots right into the top corner there, and the pressure is just immense. It's almost like they have to get the KOs on the side of, Guest Star has to get the KOs to make their defense happen at this point.
Yeah, it seems like if these matches go beyond 10 or 20 seconds, I mean, George is able to walk around, do whatever they want. That being said, the cage just absolutely launched Overgrown Lemon into the stratosphere. It looks like Life going to be able to get a barrier off of that. A double barrier coming out now as Randor going to have a core flip up here in just a second. Pushed way up. Overgrown Lemon will respawn, but in this bottom corner, Life trying to get up to Randor, burning the core flip here, looking for the shot into the top side. Will find it and tie it up on this set point, but it's still match point for IME enjoyers, they have a chance to take it all with one more, but this has been a crazy game so far.
This is like watching a wrestling match, and each time somebody brings out some sort of illegal weapon, it gets even worse. As each team, every time they score a goal, it's not like a methodical breakdown of everything. It's an explosion of either people getting KO'd, double barriers, and goals happening in single-digit seconds. I mean, look at this pressure from both sides. Randor coming up, gets the strike, and the flip is required from Sora to save it here. Overgrown Lemon using the flip, trying to get it up in the top corner. The pressure coming out from the Maelstrom, and the panic strike from Mycotic unfortunately strikes it right back into Overgrown Lemon 5. And IME enjoyers take it once again and qualify for the OSAS Season 5 finale.
After many attempts, here they are. The IME enjoyers have qualified now in a very explosive, very exciting game. The scoreboard says 3-1, but I feel like it was kind of closer to that. I think if Overgrown Lemon hadn't scaled as hard as they were able to, it would have been probably a set 5 game there. But that was a pretty incredible one nonetheless. Let's take a look at these stats. Yeah, Guest Star definitely putting up some big numbers here. Life with the 166 redirects, most in the lobby here. Pretty solid. Overgrown Lemon, though, with the 9 goals and 8 goal participations from Bloody Blossom as well. They just managed to get the right items, the right time, and keep it up. But yeah, I mean, we saw an ace later answered by essentially a double kill, and then an 8-second goal from one X answered by an 8-second goal from the other X. So I don't know, like, what else to ask for. That was just a really incredible game.
I'm not sure overtime was even met that entire match. I think maybe twice in the entire match, and probably both in the first set, because once the Awakenings came in, it was just explosion after explosion of offensive pressure and enormous plays on both sides to make this honestly way more of a nail-biter than the 3-1 says it was.
Yeah, you never, I mean, like we were saying before, you never know what you're going to get with some of these wildcard teams, but Guest Star is, I think, a team to keep an eye out for moving forward, because they'll be going down to the losers bracket here, so they'll have another chance to qualify. But I wouldn't be, even if they don't qualify this week, I wouldn't be surprised if we see them back in this bracket next week.
Yeah, I would love to see them back in the bracket if they don't qualify somehow. They are knocked to losers, so they're not out of it quite yet. They can make yet another run in the loser side and still qualify for the finale. And with the way they're playing, I think they have a decent shot of making it at the very least. We will see. But I think we're going to go to start setting up for our next game, which I believe is going to be Sleepyheads versus Animal Style OSAS. Animal Style, pretty well known in the community at this point. I mean, if you know anything about Westies and the Animal Style, and not to mention the Animal Style Discord, you'll recognize the names of Scandals, Ma2, and Moshi. But interestingly enough, Ma2 actually on his goalie arc has been playing a lot more goalie for Animal Style, and is showing it here in OSAS against Sleepyheads, who are the other team that went 4-0 in the Swiss. But Sleepyheads, I'm not too familiar exactly with their team. I believe they're fielding Naptime 1, ALUC 1, and then I forgot their third player, who should show up here shortly. But
I think it's Hoodie.
Hoodie, yeah, Hoodie sleeps with 3 Z's. Yep. And so this team going 4-0, I think I've played against Naptime before, but I don't think I've played against the others. And so having names that I've never heard of show up and go 4-0 in OSAS against teams that I have heard of, I think we're in for quite a game. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the only team that took a game off of Animal Style OSAS in the Swiss.
Yes, it was. Yeah, this is a rematch. They fought each other in the Swiss, and Sleepyheads actually won against kind of the favored Animal Style here. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see how this would go if Animal Style brings it back, or if Sleepyheads will assert their dominance. But Sleepyheads was here last week. If I do recall, I don't remember who they lost to. Yeah, I don't remember who they lost to, but it was a pretty good game. Regardless, so it's cool to see them back once again in this winner's side and one game away from this coveted qualification spot. So, as these players ready up, do their maps and whatnot, we'll see how this goes. But yeah, like you said, I think this is definitely going to be a game, especially coming off of what we just watched. It might just be one of those nights where we just get absolute heater after absolute heater.
I mean, I think we're going to already see some of the top OSAS players in action in this game. Both of these teams, especially the way that I've heard Sleepyheads has been playing and that I know Animal Style can play. I mean, these two teams, this could be like winners semis, winners finals in the finale, and I wouldn't know the difference, right? I think these teams are really going to take this the distance, and I think we're going to see a very similar style of explosive play, similar to the last game, especially with how aggressive Moshi and Scandals can be in that forward duo. And I'd love to see if Hoodie Sleeps and ALUC can match that kind of tempo, or if they decide to take more of that kind of defensive, calculated tempo that we see from something like Sad Boys or what's another good defensive team? I can't think of them off the top of my head.
I
guess Core Overflow is kind of calculated in that regard, right? Joker really likes to maintain core control, maintain that pressure, maintain the space advantage, and kind of just whittle the enemy team down, and then make that play when he needs to. So I'm curious if they're going to opt to try and go for that more defensive style, or if we're just going to see the just full head-on, head-to-head, beat-em up, kind of clash of clans almost in the midfield, in the forward position.
I mean, I think we definitely saw that last game with the previous teams. It was just mostly like all offense and counter offense. Barriers were not staying up very long for either side once they got a push going. So it'd be interesting, I think, to see it happen again. But at the same time, it would also be nice to see different teams do different things and kind of get a feel for everyone's play style. But I mean, regardless, last week alone, I kind of got the feeling that this season was going to be kind of special in like some of the teams that we were getting, and it's really kind of starting to feel that way, where it's like this OSAS feels a bit different from the other ones in like the quality of players that are qualifying here. So I think no matter what, no matter who wins here, whether it is this Sleepyheads team or this Animal Style team, who are suddenly just both looking super scary, whoever qualifies is just going to add to that absolutely stacked roster of OSAS finalists we're going to have.
Yeah, just an incredibly stacked finale. I think every OSAS finale since Season 1 has just become even more difficult to get into for each new team that shows up, as we see Juno Kazan removed from the field. In my opinion, the two strongest characters in the game right now. And with Recovery Drone and Stagger Swagger on the board, it's going to be difficult for teams to really kind of enable the KOs that maybe Kazan would want. But Hoodie Sleeps coming out with the Juliet. Juliet does not care about that Stagger Swagger. And with ALUC on the Octavia possibly, this could spell disaster for Animal Style OSAS if they're not able to play properly around it.
Yeah, and it's a Stagger Swagger Recovery Drone start. Looks like Aluk will be switching over to the Era, not an Octavia game, it looks like. I mean, makes sense. Not an Octavia item on the board, but it will be an Era mirror, as we do see the Rasmus here as well from Animal Style. And it's just going to be kind of a lot of not killing going on, as I imagine. Yeah, it looks like Stagger Swagger here from Naptime and Aluk, Hoodie Sleeps, Maw2 and Moshi all going for that Recovery Drone, though. Strike shots on the goalies here, as it's not going to be too much of a killing fest, but we may see it. We may see a couple come out. We do have the Juliet. on the board, and recovery drone does only work once per set, so once you get it down, it can go through, and of course Stagger Swagger doesn't care if you get knocked off the board.
And both sides just have an absolute ton of speed. In fact, Animal Style actually has just slightly more because Rasmus can also boost his own speed. But with the Era and Mako / now speeds coming out and many Stagger Swaggers on the board, it's just really kind of going to be a test to see if this Juliet can keep up with the core being in play, and if the Era and now can keep her in that play, or if the speed from Animal Style OSAS is going to just kind of take over and trump Juliet. Sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry, my bad. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a bit of an endurance game here. Like, it's not quite... Oh, nice little mix-up from Moshi with the hook, though, to find the point, that point-blank hook to bring the core back. But like I was saying, it's going to be a bit of an endurance game. But like you said, everyone's kind of got that speed, but there's not a huge amount of... kill potential or like massive stuffing pressure. There's a bit, but it's not like absurd. So it's going to be a bit of a pay attention to your positioning type game, I imagine, as core flips are traded here. Both barriers down, though, for the side of Sleepyheads. But Moshi, once again, finding a nice little goal there off of that Strike War win, as Animal Style OSAS will bring it to set point in this first one.
Yeah, Moshi, Strike Warrior, just patiently waiting for ALUC to make that mistake, and Naptime 1 just not able to find which direction Moshi was going to choose there. And probably not even expecting the Strike War loss. And able to find that goal and make it work. And with the pressure that Scandals is putting on in the midfield, making sure that this core gets to Moshi and stays to Moshi, I think it's kind of Animal Style's set to lose, it feels like, at this point.
Yeah, Animal Style, Moshi especially, has been kind of cooking on this Rasmus so far, and it's only been 2 rounds, so I'm curious to see how far this goes. It's being said, Hoodie, with the big KO here, entering this power play, has a core flip up, and so does Aluk as well, as they're looking for this barrier, but Hoodie getting it off the strike board there. Going to burn the core flip on the air, but still has it up in this goal box here. Scandals will respawn. Core flip from Aluk will be blocked by the recently respawned Scandals, and Moshi with a KO in return. The Era is down and earns the barrier as well, as now the tables have turned. Scandals pushing up the board, trying to get it past Hoodie here. Back into the hands of Moshi. 3 more seconds till this Era is back, but no point just yet. Scandals passing up to Moshi. Naptime able to clear it out, though. Now back in the hands of Hoodie. Not going to be able to find the pressure here. The storm coming out from Aluk, though, pushing it up. Strike War win, but Ma2 with the core flip sends it up to Moshi, and with a dribble into the hit stun off the pendulum swing, will pick up the point as Animal Style takes set 1 in a pretty dominant 3-0.
Yeah, and that point honestly was off the back of Ma being able to catch that core with the strike shot, able to make the save, get the play upfield for Moshi, and Moshi with just a beautiful dribble off the top. Naptime not having the strike shot ready, possibly not even having the primary ready, and now Moshi is rewarded with double size. Unfortunately, that completes all size trainings available, with Built Different also being here, and Spark of Leadership actually falling all the way down to last, despite it being the only Spark available.
Yeah, kind of interesting. Didn't seem to be the flavor of the month here, but overall, not too bad from either side. Moshi definitely eating good, though, with that demo pickup, the double size, and a little bit of cooldown on top of it. A big Rasmus is a happy Rasmus. Going for the hook here will get shut down by Ma2's cage a little bit, unfortunately, but they still have this barrier advantage, and nice little clear up to Scandals. Scandals sending it right back down. Those are looking for a way out. Nice pass up to Moshi, dribbling, looking for this barrier. Scandals on the top side, trying to send it back in, building up the storm, but Hoodie is going to be able to get it out of there. Back up to Moshi, though. Oh, now time clearing it back down to Aluk, as they're just playing around this midfield, but Moshi pushing up with the Whiplash will earn the barrier here. Then open goal now. Scandal's about to have core flip up as well, but so does Naptime, just in case. Looking for this corner. Moshi baits out the core flip, doesn't get the goal, but will here off of that little strike war when able to walk it in. As Animal Style continues scoring 4 goals in a row now, with Sleepyheads unable to answer.
Naptime looking for Moshi's possible options on that strike, waits a little too long, and Moshi just says, nah, I'd strike, and just hits it right by them for that goal. And interestingly enough, I noticed that Hoodie sleeps decided to pick up the build different, going for the double size here, and allowing Mako to receive arguably one of her best awakenings in heavy impact for Ma, getting the free procs on the secondary, allowing that secondary to come up more often for Ma and give Ma more options in the defensive toolkit.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting to see how it goes. I wonder how much that's actually affecting the game going on right now. As it seems to be like it's kind of just the Moshi show, as you see right there. The hook pass up to Scandals, absolutely beautiful, and preserve the core flip through it as well. So yeah, Animal Style were definitely eating very good off of that draft, and looks like they're about to be eating good off of a second draft here. So they're looking to take another 3-0 set potentially. Scandal's just needing to try and get this through the midfield here. Moshi pushing back a little bit to try and help. Hoodie sleeps, goes for the KO, finds it, but the recovery drone from Moshi will keep them alive as they're pushing up to try and find this barrier. But Hoodie in the midfield will use the flurries here, able to score this bottom barrier. Goes for the core flip. Scandal's there to block it though, pushing for more, but Scandal's able to clear it back out. Aluk pushing down to try and recover, but Moshi pushing it up through, and now Scandal's on this top side, getting it to Moshi. Core flip, point blank, will find the barrier. Nice ricochet off the middle, gets the second barrier as well, and now Aluk is hurt. Moshi with the pendulum swing finds the KO and the point. Animal Style is absolutely dunking on Sleepyheads right now, saying this is how the Swiss game should have gone. We are taking this W back and rewarded with a nice few things here. This era did take Spark of Leadership, so Spark of Agility and Monu both on the board. We'll have to see how this goes. It will be a Monu deny coming out here, so that's pretty nice.
I mean, who cares about scaling when Moshi's already scaled and now gets the quick strikes on top of just being a big Rasmus? I mean, this guy's about to be unstoppable. I mean, like you said earlier, who cares about heavy impact when Moshi is just kind of everywhere right now? Between the speed from Scandals and the speed from Ma 2, as well as the additional size, I mean, it really is just the Moshi show right now.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to watch, and already earning a barrier off of this kickoff here. Scandal's trying to get it out of the situation, going for more as Moshi level 6, Aluk just hitting level 4 here. Even the level differential is kind of rough as, I mean, Animal Style OSAS has taken 6 points completely unanswered. They're potentially looking to make it a 9-0 game here, which would be kind of insane considering Sleepyheads beat them in the bracket. But there will be some energy coming up here from both sides in just a moment. Hoodie and Maw 2 on the verge of that core flip as both teams just fighting over territory in this top side, pushing down to the bottom now. Scandal's able to get back up into this top corner, but they can't quite clear it out of their side of the field. Just going to have to play it a bit patiently here as now back on the other side, but Hoodie sending it right back over. The cage is going to come out. Nice evasive from Hoodie to stay out of it though. Small 2 has the energy up to defend, going to burn it here, sending it around town to the top side as we enter this overtime now. Nap time trying to clear it out to the bottom. Hoodie pushing up, but just can't get it through this defense of Maw 2 as it looks like it could be Animal Style's chance to apply some pressure of their own. They just haven't been able to get off their side of this field this round. Sleepyheads have been absolutely holding it down.
I think it hasn't really necessarily been a goalie thing in terms of holding it down, as unfortunately I think I cursed them as they lose their barrier there. But it's actually been Hoodie Sleeps who's been using a lot of Juliet's cooldowns, like right there, the ultimate, the Fiery Flurry, to keep the ball upfield. But with no Juliet scoring tools, they're having trouble getting past this Mako, and it's showing and possibly putting them in dire straits here.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, most of Hoodie's abilities have been used around this midfield area, so they haven't been able to stuff it through Maw 2 as much as you might like, and will be punished there as Moshi. Oh my gosh, it's by pixels. I'm looking at that replay. Got it around the now primary by actual pixels. That was insane. Moshi finds those, and I mean that's what happens if Sleepyheads can't score in a reasonable time. Animal Style will eventually score it, even if you think you're ahead. Like, you gotta get them, because every interaction that they get on your side of the field, it's going to end badly eventually, is the thing. No. It looks like Scandals, unfortunately, having some connectivity issues at the top. Oh, looks like they're back, though. Looks like they have, looks like they've returned. to defend this bottom barrier. With a core flip up, it's very important as well as Moshi just casually pulling out a double barrier and looking for this point with the whiplash. Naptime able to clear it out, but still in a dangerous situation as Scandals dribbling on this top side. Core flip from Hoodie, looking for the shot, but Maw2 blocks with the primary. Scandals with the core flip, sends it to the bottom. Moshi going for the point, but Naptime able to recover. Hook comes out from Moshi. Naptime there to defend though. Maw2 trying to send it back up as Hoodie taking a lot of damage, bringing out the flurries, looking for this push, but core flip from Maw2 is going to send it out of there as we enter overtime. Aluk in this top side just dribbling around, trying to buy Hoodie a little bit of time here. Naptime earning some cooldowns on this defense, and Moshi has a core flip up. It's very dangerous place to be, but burns it on air, so that's a little bit of leeway here for Sleepyheads, but core flip coming out from Naptime is going to get sent around the world. Moshi can't quite find the hook as the core is moving quite fast at this point. Maw2 in this top corner, just sending it back and forth, trying to get it past Hoodie here, trying to avoid this dash punch. Will be successful, but Aluk trying to send it back in. Moshi pushing up, dribbles with the whiplash, sending to the top side. Hoodie there respond, but Scandals sending it right back in. Moshi looking for this angle. Naptime sending it around, but a hook from Moshi tried to send it back in. Naptime still able to hold it down in these single strike interactions. Goes from the pendulum swing. Naptime almost hits it into the goal himself. Very dangerous, but Scandals on this top side goes for a point of themselves. Naptime once again gets it out, and Maw2 will lose the barrier here as Hoodie trying to push up and put Sleepyheads on the board in the longest round we've seen in a hot minute. Scandals sending it back into Moshi. The hook is burnt, but Naptime still holding it down, and Hoodie finally able to find the dash punch off of the little ricochet there. Sleepyheads will score here, and Animal Style will not get their perfect game.
Wow, I think this is just turning into a tale of which forward is able to maintain their cooldowns long enough to make the score happen and be in the right position at the right time to also make it happen. And then Moshi, unfortunately, having to use Flip on that last point to save his own life from the Air Tornado that was almost certainly going to KO him, means that he runs out of an extra tool that he might have needed to convert that point there. But forcing out the Flip here, Moshi able to get the barrier anyway with the pendulum swing. Like I said, if he's able to get in these right positions and make these pendulum swings happen in the right spots, now doesn't really have a lot to deal with it. And walks up, flips, and now they're on match point. I mean, how do you stop this man?
Yeah, Sleepyheads seeming to not really have an answer for Moshi's Rasmus like this. And Maw2 has a core flip up as well going into this. They have the energy advantage. Looks like Animal Style could just decisively take this one as Moshi already earning a barrier here. Maw2 trying to get it past Hoodie, but Hoodie looking for the dash punch. We'll get a barrier here, but back in the hands of Moshi, it's going to look like Animal Style could be doing something. Hoodie able to walk it up in this bottom corner. The storm comes out. The flurries come out, but Maw2 with the Mako secondary is able to keep it out of there. Still keeping it in this bottom corner, though. Unable to find an out clear. Is going to have to core flip to send it through, but Aluk right there to send it back in. Back in the hands of Moshi trying to push it up, but Scandals now moving to the top side, trying to keep it in play for Animal Style. Aluk in this midfield is keeping up now. A little bit better than they were in the earlier round. As Hoodie looking for this barrier. Doesn't have the dash, though, just the punch, and it's not going to be enough. The barrier will remain standing as now Moshi in the midfield trying to battle his way up. Brink goes for the hook, but the strike war is won by Aluk. Pushing from the bottom now, goes for the pendulum swing. Still not enough. Scandal's going to send it right back in, and there we go. Moshi able to find it, as well as a few cooldowns. Scandals just sending it back up, looking for this point. The storm comes out as we enter overtime. Maw2 passing it up, but in the hands of Hoodie now bouncing off this little bottom side ricochet to earn a luck. And now both goals are open. Naptime has a core flip up, but Scandals finds a clean pass to Moshi. Sinks it right in Animal Style. Osas will take it.
I mean, just clean play from Moshi and Scandals there, just showing that they have the synergy to make these plays, make these passes happen when Moshi's not able to do the 1v9ing he has been doing in this entire game. And Naptime just not even able to flip there. I don't think Flip would have even caught that even if he tried, or even if they tried. And so, I mean, the redirects kind of tell the story here, right? 110 roughly for the entirety of Sleepyheads, whereas over 138 and 138 plus for Moshi and Scandals. It just turned into the Moshi and Scandals show, and Ma really showing quite good goalie prowess. I'm shocked. Ma used to be Animal Style's main like a forward player, and shows up in the goal box and says, "You know what? Who cares about your forward in the net? I'm in the net now, and I am no longer the forward." And I mean, this team is looking very strong and almost poised to win it all, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. It's crazy to think that they actually lost to Sleepyheads in Swiss, but I mean, they managed to get it done when it mattered. So, I mean, even just looking at these stats here, 9 goal participation from Moshi and 153 redirects, just absolutely holding on to the rock and just cooking so hard every time, almost every time Moshi had that core. He just brought down a barrier. A lot of times it was both barriers, and then just found a way to score it in. Sleepyheads just could not, answer in return. They just couldn't get the pressure going. Hoodie was having to do all this stuff in the midfield just to keep Animal Style on their side of the field. And so when it came time to push up, they just didn't have the cooldowns, to make those big stuffing, Juliet type pushes. But yeah, that's Animal Style OSAS, the second winners bracket qualifiers here.
I actually have a little bit of insider lore from the previous game, and it looks like Hoodie Sleeps actually played Kazan in the previous game, which is likely why Animal Style opted for the ban on Kazan there, despite the Stagger Swagger being available. Possibly Hoodie Sleeps being one of those, not necessarily one tricks, but like a Kazan main, if that makes sense, right? Able to use the character to more effect than, say, the Juliet. And based on the usage of cooldowns, I would actually think that Juliet is not necessarily Hoodie Sleep's main character, and likely the Kazan, and probably even more of a core control type Kazan. So I think being able to get rid of that might have allowed Animal Style to kind of pressure that team even more when they don't have that more comfortable character. Possibly. I might be chatting here because I don't know 100%. But I do know that Kazan was Hoodie Sleep's last pick, and so maybe that's why they opted to do it this way and why they were able to make this work for them.
Yeah, kind of interesting. A way of going about it, I guess. Characters may have had, pretty big influence on the result of the Swiss game, maybe even of this game, but it was a good game. I think nonetheless, it was very interesting. I mean, like we've been saying all night, you really don't know what you're going to be getting with a lot of these teams. But, I mean, that was certainly that. I think I imagine that one being a bit closer than it turned out to be. But, it was a very solid performance regardless. But this being said, we're going to be moving on to our next match pretty soon, which is Sleepyheads, who we just saw fighting Seraphim Crimson. Longtime veterans, so this should be an interesting one. Sleepyheads 4-1 and Crimson 5-1, making their run through this losers bracket here. And I imagine this will be a pretty solid game as well.
I think it's going to be a great game, honestly, because we've seen Seraphim Crimson come through these halls multiple times, right? They're known. They basically have their own staff pass at this point to roam the halls as they please, as they are just absolute veterans of the OSAS scene. And now going against Sleepyheads, some of the more new players. I think with the way Sleepyheads has been playing, that last game wasn't as convincing for me, I think. But if they are able to go 4-0 in the bracket, if I'm not mistaken, they went 4-0 in the not bracket, but Swiss.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the potential to possibly even upset this veteran team here in Seraphim Crimson and possibly take it. If I'm not mistaken, this qualifies? No, this does not qualify, actually. This is still the quarters.
Yeah, one more. After this is the one to qualify. So 2 more teams to get through here to qualify through the losers. But yeah, I mean, once again, it's so hard. It's so, like, I want to say that Seraphim Crimson can take it, but with how crazy it's been tonight, we're just gonna have to see it. I would not be surprised if this is a set 5 game. A lot of the matches that Crimson is in tend to be set 5 games one way or the other. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, Sleepyheads, last game's kind of hard to kind of track them on, because they were going up against one of the best teams in the entire thing. and they kind of got sweeped, but they beat them in Swiss. So they still look like an incredibly solid team, and both of these teams do. So it's just so hard to kind of gauge how this game could possibly go. But I'm very curious to see, what this matchup looks like.
I think the matchup's going to be very interesting, and we might get our wishes answered for even more set 5.5s with these kinds of teams. But going on a little bit of a tangent here, so hear me out. And to Fonk, if you're listening, I apologize and also don't apologize. But I actually want to pronounce your name like French, like Tefonk. And I don't know why, it just sounds really fun to say it Tefonk, even though that's probably not what you actually want. But anyway, tangent aside, I think this game's going to be quite good. I'm curious if they're going to go night market yet again.
Yeah,
as we've been seeing a lot of that today.
It has been pretty popular, hasn't it? It seems to be one of those maps where, at least in my experience, I've either seen it every game or not at all, which is weird. But I mean, I know other maps are certainly on the table, at least for Crimson. So curious to see how these map bans turn out, and if it will be another night market game or not, and what that could possibly mean. Tefonk does have a very, very solid Drakkar, which I think performs pretty well on that map. So it could be interesting story in the midfield if they do end up going with that. But if they go for a more KO heavy map as well, I think that could also be interesting, because I know Crimson tends to like those.
Well, we do have the insider information that it is not night market, but I do believe that the map bans have not quite been solidified. But it is not night market, so we are going to a new map, thankfully. I don't know about you, Lego Mage, but I kind of hate night market. I'm going to be honest. Maybe I'm chatting, but I really don't like that map.
I don't mind it all that much. Personally, I like Imizap because I'm biased, but I do kind of like Night Market because Rasmus Goalie is like pretty decent on it. So I don't mind it. I don't necessarily enjoy watching every single game on it. So that's that is a little bit of my peeve with it. But I did just actually get word from Tefonk. We can in fact pronounce it Tefon. That is allowed. That is a Tefon.
Tefon. Okay. I mean, now I'm just gonna have to bust out my French, and it's gonna be bad, and you're gonna be sorry for letting me do that.
I won't be sorry. I think this is the highlight of the night, but always exciting. Always exciting to see Crimson in here. You get to have we always get to have a fun game, but
I will say I am quite a fan of Tefon's playstyle. Kind of like that. I don't know if you've ever watched and how he kind of just, or how they kind of just stand there and wait for the enemy to try and make a move and then just completely outplay the enemy. And Tefon tends to do kind of a similar style, although with a different character pool by quite a bit. But it's still it's a fun style to watch, right? When Tefon gets the core, it's kind of like an all eyes on them for at least that brief period of time, as they likely will make some sort of play happen for their team.
Yeah, for sure. And Tefon is like, as a player as well, he I think he's definitely leveled up, like grown very, very quickly. This is like, I think his second season of OSAS that he's played in. And like during the first one that he did was like when he downloaded the game. So he's only been playing for like a few months, but it's done a lot of scrims, a lot of in-houses and stuff, and gotten very good very quickly. So it's very interesting to see. But hang on, I'm getting Uber pinged. Oh yeah, okay, no, he says it's third season in OSAS, and the first he was literally just low gold. But yeah, thank you Tefon for that. But yeah, so I guess that's some lore there about our French Drakkar player. It's not actually French, we're just saying it that way.
But looks like we finally got a map pick coming out, and it is going to, I mean, get your D6s and your D20s ready, because we're going to Demon Dias.
Oh boy.
I had to troll Saya a bit with that one. But it is Demon Dias, or Demon Deus. I think both pronunciations are correct. It's not Demon Dice, guys. That is a content creator, and a very good one at that.
Interesting map pick here. Very different from the Night Market. I know Crimson's happy about this one. It's kind of their favorite map. So we'll see if Sleepyheads is going to end up being able to take over the kind of kill comp here. We see the Luna band come out. We see the Kazan band come out. And we are on a Timeless and Spark of whatever it is, the power one. Spark of Strength start. Is Aluk actually going for the Octavia pick? Okay, a risky pick on this map, especially on this start, but it either pays off a lot or it just straight up doesn't. So very interested to see how this goes. We see the Drakkar come out from Tafonk. Hoodie going for the Juliet once again, and Naptime looks like going back and forth between the Mako, as it will be the Mako, but Malachi on the Zentaro here. That's a new thing coming out as you go back on the Estelle once again. So definitely interesting comps coming out from both sides. This is kind of not the normal for this map at all, but everyone going for Spark of Strength except for Naptime on the Timeless.
Honestly, these are some of the wildest picks I've ever seen on Demon Deus, and that's coming from a guy who plays a lot of normals. And with this Octavia getting sparks, as Hoodie sleeps, actually gets a quick double barrier there. But with Octavia actually having access to sparks, I actually don't think it's that bad of a pick, because Octavia can get not only whatever her bis is, but if she's denied all her bis, well, now she just has access to sparks as well, and can make use of those quite well.
And a first point going over to Sleepyheads. A nice little dribble from Naptime passes it over to Hoodie for the dash punch. That is kind of the big weakness here for Crimson, is that this is a Juliet against an Estelle goalie on Demon Days. So if it gets past kind of that long range area into that dash punch zone where Hoodie can just shove it in, Yugo doesn't really have an answer for that. So the Crimson's going to have to kind of just play at range, play this midfield game really hard here, and hope that they're not forced back into a corner, really.
And that is kind of not the onset, but like the idea of this map, right? It's to make this map feels so tiny, despite being relatively the same size as every other map, because of where these barriers are. And Master X Malachi just wins a strike war from what looks like at least 3 striker lengths away, and sends it right into the top corner to tie the set. But like I was saying, the size of this map feels a lot smaller, and Estelle really wants that open space to work with so that she can keep the core away from her. And this map just feels like she just isn't able to do that nearly as much because of where the barriers are positioned.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a paradox here. They love this map, but unfortunately the Estelle just doesn't quite fit into the rest of the comp, but still able to hold it down for now, and energy coming up on both sides. Yugo has the core flip up. Malachi's going to have the core flip up here. Looks like they're trying to get it out of this area. Yugo goes for the core flip, but it gets blocked and will lose a barrier for it. Now Malachi sending in the core flip into this bottom side, but not going to be able to earn too much to Funk on this top side. Going to get trapped in the cage, bounces it around, but Naptime able to get it out of there. Hoodie taking a lot of damage, going to play for the life a little bit in this midfield as Naptime on this defense, just keeping it away from the Centauro. Aluk as well, backing up to Funk. Will get a barrier here as Malachi using the Zen ult in this top corner, but Naptime able to get it out. Now Hoodie in this bottom corner going for the dash punch. Will find the point through Yugo.
Oh no.
And Sleepyheads bring it to set point.
Struck it right back into the Juliet, unfortunately, and that leads to a pretty easy goal from Hoodie Sleep's perspective. I think the point of the Juliet here is to have extra range damage and range pressure against Naptime 1. It actually proved quite effective here, getting double barrier access to Master X Malachi off the back of Yugo's primary to keep it forward. And with the damage they're able to put out, I mean, look at these health bars on Sleepyheads. First it was Hoodie Sleeps, and then it was ALUC, but Hoodie Sleeps getting the KO anyway. I mean, it doesn't matter if their health bars are low if you can't finish off the KOs.
Yeah, the Juliet dash punch, an ever-present threat that does not care about health bars, and rewarded with a double barrier off the power play. Yugo blinking up to the midfield, but Corflip coming out from nap time. Yugo will get back just in time, but Hoodie dribbling up the board. Yugo with a nice primary, though, to get it out of there. Aluk in this top side with the Octavia ult, just trying to keep these stacks of speed up. They will run out, is staggered as well. It's going to play for the life a little bit, but Malachi is looking for this point, just waiting to receive the core, but now Hoodie's pushing up once again. Yugo trying to figure out how to get it out of this situation, trying to get it up to Defonk, passing back and forth as we enter overtime, but Hoodie pushing up with the flurries. Won't find anything, though, as now Malachi back in the midfield. Defonk pushing up, going invisible, pushing in, trying to find the shotgun, will find it! Past nap time, and Crimson tie it up in set 1.
I mean, this is going the distance. You would think that an Octavia Juliet wouldn't be able to kind of hang with the sheer core control that Zentaro, Estelle, and Drakkar have against the basically 2 melee characters, but Sleepyhead's really putting on quite a show here to keep this a lot more interesting than this first set might have proven to be. And if ALUC is able to get this first set and get a nice Octavia Abyss, this game could spiral out of control very quickly.
Yeah, it's looking to be a close one, potentially, depending on these drafts. And with both barriers down, Yugo does have a core flip up. But core flip from Aluk is going to get it through Yugo's core flip and earn the barrier instead. Hoodie has a core flip up as well, but Malachi will in just a moment. Is just playing around these energy to finding a KO here. As now in this 2v3, Hoodie burning the core flip. It's going to go all the way around, but super staggered themselves. Defonk pushing up hard. Yugo in this midfield. Core flip from Malachi is going to get shut down by the cage, but doesn't matter. It's going to bounce around. He's going to find the point regardless. Crimson will take set 1, and I think that's Malachi the MVP. Yes.
Just barely, yeah. Weirdly, I think it might have actually been that last hit with the primary. That core is going in with regardless of the primary, but the primary allows the Zentaro to get first pick here. And wow, with all these awakenings, though, it's going to be tough. It's interesting because Master X Malachi could have actually opted to just take focus there and force Naptime to take leadership, but opting to take leadership instead, giving over rapid fire to this Mako could prove fatal, but we'll see. It's not entirely clear how that's going to play out in the long run. And triple double sparks for the side of Seraphim Crimson, as all of them now have 2 sparks.
Yeah, just sparking all around here for Crimson. Not bad at all, as Aluk will get a twin drive here, though, which isn't bad, but Defonk is just going to shut that down regardless with that KO here. Hoodie getting a KO on Defonk in return, and the barrier opening up the goal now in this 2v2. Nap time bringing out the cage here. Hoodie, once again, staggered, just trying to play for his life. Goes for the flash, but it's Nap time who finds the snipe. I don't know if the rapid fire actually came in play there or not, whether or not that cooldown would have been up, but a great little primary from Naptime to find the point.
And just barely enough range with the strike shot, too. Able to find that snipe, able to find that cross clear against Estelle, no less. And here, a double barrier just out of nowhere. The Estelle not able to have the speed and have the abilities to keep that out of play. And already being down a point, this is already looking horrible for the side of Seraphim Crimson.
Yeah, not a spot you want to be in right now. I mean, 30 seconds into the match, Defonk will get a barrier here, but Sleepyheads are pushing back up into this top corner. Aluk's taking a lot of damage. Malachi will find the stagger, but not the KO just yet. Does have a core flip up, though. You're going to burn it here to find the KO. Actually, as Hoodie takes a lot of damage. Going to be having a core flip up here. Nap time with the core flip, though. Sending it around to Funk, sends it back in. The cage will not be enough, and the barrier goes down, and Yugo pushing up to this midfield. Malachi goes for the Zen ult to Funk right there to back him up. Strike War from Malachi will find the point on a big power play. And for all the defense that Crimson's lacking right now, they're making up for it in damage. Like, that spark of power, the 2 spark with the spark of strength, is actually coming in pretty big as we're watching health bars just absolutely melt on the side of Sleepyheads.
Seraphim Crimson basically went from 26 power each to now 70, 70, and 56 power across the board. I mean, the power spike is insane. What they've basically just been given, and it's showing massively. The health bars are just completely disappearing on the side of Sleepyheads, and it feels nearly impossible for them to make any sort of progress when their health bars are that low all the time. But a bad blink from Yugo, an unfortunate blink from Yugo, loses one barrier and ALUC still looking okay, sitting down in the bottom corner. And with these snipes from Naptime's rapid fire, the offense just quite isn't able to make it happen when it counts.
But he's pushing up into this corner here. Naptime does have a core flip up if things go awry. Gonna burn it here, but Malachi with the Zen primary is gonna block it. Called out. Naptime on that clear. Gotta be more patient on those ones. Crimson finds those, and that'll bring them to set point as Crimson just still going absolutely strong. It's weird. It felt like they were losing, but I mean, the scoreboard just says different. It's kind of wild to watch.
Indeed, and that honestly kind of felt like a Mako Bongos moment. Sometimes you just push buttons and forget that other things in the game exist, and Zentaro primary knocking that goal in, but Hoodie Sleeps getting yet another KO onto Fonk. And despite all the power that Seraphim Crimson hand, this Juliet with no pummelers is still getting the KOs as needed.
That being said, Malachi firing right back with an Octavia KO coming out here. The cage going to come out from Naptime, not going to hit too much as Malachi able to secure one barrier here. Looks like this Octavia going to be coming back up in just a second. Hoodie trying to get out of here, but core flip from Malachi. He's blocked by Naptime. Point blank, though. Yugo will find the barrier regardless. Hoodie going for this barrier of his own. Yugo with the core flip sends it back around in. Pushing up to the midfield, trying to keep it in the hands of Tefunk. Naptime out clear is going to be blocked by Malachi as Crimson are going to take another set decisively here and be awarded with another nice draft. Malachi, the MVP once again. Potential for the last spark to show up. It looks like it won't, but there are a couple other very nice things on this board. Explosive entrance could be a big one for this Zentaro, so see how this plays out.
Not only Zentaro best in slot, but also a deny against the Octavia who wants those secondary awakenings. Missile Prop Deny actually coming out for Naptime against Jafonk's Drakar, but Drakar able to pick up Stagger Swagger means that Juliet's going to have to settle for an Unstoppable against a team that has so many hitboxes that they don't care that you have Unstoppable. I'm not sure if Siphoning 1 actually still procs if Unstoppable does. Do you know?
I have no idea, actually, so that's kind of an interesting point, but I don't necessarily think it's really going to matter, since between Zentaro and Drakar, there's just so much chip damage anyway, as well as Estelle just throwing things in there. But yeah, the Unstoppable is not quite going to be as good as Stagger Swagger in this instance. That being said, Sleepyheads have brought down the goal barriers. Hoodie looking pretty low, but still going for this point here to Funk on this defense. Yugo with the primary is going to find the KO, though. It's now Naptime and Luke are going to have to play this defense. And this Octavia stuck at level 4 here. Everyone else is level 7. Yugo having to run back to save that one a little bit, but it's all good. Hoodie Sleeps will respawn here, though. One barrier goes down. Malachi looking for more, has a core flip up, but can't quite find it. Yugo gonna have to try and find a way to send it back in. It goes all the way around the world. Luke trying to avoid the Zen ult is unfortunately gonna have to let that one slip by. Core flip pass from Malachi to the Funk, finds the shotgun for the point as Crimson continue their warpath.
As legendary goalie Bertram would say, bang. And I cannot stress this enough. Bang. Tefunk using the shotgun to get the goal there, and I think Naptime may have been surprised by the sheer speed that Tefunk was able to hit that with, because Tefunk has 70 power on this Drakar between the Master X Malachi passing power and the double sparks. So this core, on top of them having the damage, they also have the core speed, and Aluk unfortunately own goals with the Octavia base drop. And that's super unfortunate, as they're now threatening match point with no goals answered.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but that's just part of the Octavia experience. Oh my gosh, Aluk's health bar just absolutely wiped away from a couple abilities there. Just not going to be able to survive for very long, as Malachi just going to be able to own this midfield, and Tefunk able to just kind of walk wherever he wants here. Both barriers are up as Crimson looking to seal this one out. Tefunk pushing hard. One barrier goes down. Corflip comes out from Naptime. It's not going to go anywhere. Crimson still keeping the leverage up. Another barrier down. Tefunk and Malachi pushing up in this top corner that they seem to like so much. You're going to be able to send it back in here. Sleepyhead's not going to be able to get too much offense going. Malachi going for the top. Tefunk is there to stop the outclear, but Naptime finds it on the bottom. The Octavia goes down here. Naptime brings out the cage as Hoodie just trying to hold on to the core, just buy a little bit more time, but they still need to bring down both barriers to have a chance, and it doesn't even matter as the Fog in this top corner, able to get it through the Mako secondary. Crimson take it 3-0, and we'll be moving on to the losers finals and a chance to qualify.
Sometimes Octavia tends to be referred to as kind of like the mosquito or the fly, right? Especially if she gets among us, or it's not among us, but among Titans, and becomes that really small Octavia that's just kind of buzzing around the map. And to Funk, Master X Malachi, and Yugo kind of just brought out their fly swatters and just slapped the Octavia around, made sure she didn't get to play the game, and just said, "This is our game, you can stay out of it." And they just make the goals honestly look easy at that point when it becomes a 2v3 over and over and over.
Yeah, I think the Octavia was kind of a weird pick here. I've seen it picked on this map a few times, and most of the time it seems to just really not work out. Like, the brawling, usually people pick this map intending to play a KO comp. And that's literally the thing that Octavia is going to lose to, is just dying all the time, because she has no way of like staying alive. She has no stagger at all, and if you don't have those, those speed awakenings on the start, there's just not a lot that you can do. And Crimson just absolutely capitalized on that, especially with that spark of strength start, and getting a second spark on that for every single member on that first draft was absolutely insane. And so they just absolutely capitalized on that and played their comp, as strange as it was, to its best potential pretty much in that matchup. And, it looked close in that first set, but once they got going with that first draft, it was just Seraphim all the way.
Yeah, I actually calculated it out just now, and between set 1 and set 2, they saw a gain of 118 power between the teams. Between the entirety of their team, from 78 total power to 118 bonus power, or to 196 bonus power between the three. I mean, if that's not a power spike, I don't know what is. Like, that's a lot of damage. Get some flex seal in there.
Yeah, that was pretty wild and a very solid game. So they'll be moving on to the losers semifinal. With a chance to win, where they will be facing the winners of our next game, which will be Guest Star, who we just saw a little while ago, versus Chikara Candy, who's gone 5-1 right now. Maruru, Dairoth, and another player, Drew Shaver, which I don't think I recognize, but Maruru and Dairoth, who have been here for a while on Chikara teams, once again. So if Chikara Candy win this, it's a Chikara versus Seraphim losers finals, battling it out for a chance to qualify, which would be an insane rivalry match to see. But at the same time, Guest Star as well has been a team that has really caught my attention, so it would be very cool to see them make it as well. So I think this could be a pretty neat one.
Neat indeed, because I'm curious how Chikara Candy is going to handle the kind of explosive aggression that we saw from Guest Star, especially in the last Night Market game against Animal Style, or not Animal Style. They went against IME Enjoyers, and that game was just absolute, like we were talking about earlier. It was just an explosion of just back and forth. Like, nobody was holding up any guard in a boxing match. They were just swinging and eating the punches left and right, and it was just monster of a game, but a very fun one to watch and a very fun one to commentate on. So I think it's really just going to come down to if Chikara Candy can take care of that explosive offense that Guest Star is able to do, or if they're just going to be crushed under it at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this goes. I mean, Chikara Candy as well, some of the players on that team are known for just absolute offense, KOs, just push all the time. Dairoth and Maruru, notably. There's goalie here, Drew Shaver. I don't recognize the name, so playing with a new goalie here. I think this was Chikara. I don't remember which team that used to be, but they got a new goalie and changed their name evidently. So that's kind of interesting to see how it goes on the defensive end of things. But Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this is similar to the first match we watched, where it is just guest star versus another team, and they're both just throwing hands and just earning barriers off one another, and it's just point after point after point, with just explosive plays and a lot of KOs. So I think that'd be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, Drew. I don't know if it's Drew Shaver or Drew's Haver, which would be kind of funny because of Evil Drew Danger and Swag Haver, as the chat's been saying. But
that makes sense. I think that makes more sense.
I don't know, honestly. And based on their core strike, they seem to be mostly a flex player, pretty even across the board in games on both goalies and forwards. So I've just kind of been grinding for a while, even playing before I started playing the game, according to this. So been around and has decided to come across the OSAS block and has made it now to losers semifinals, attempting to qualify to OSAS Season 5.
Yeah, pretty interesting indeed. And with some more experienced players on their team, like Dairoth and Maruru, definitely a solid team comp here. Okay, it is Drew Shaver, apparently, as I am being told. So that's nice to note.
Clarification is good.
Okay. Yeah, clarification is good. But yeah, I think this is gonna be an interesting match, to be sure. If Jakara wins this, it's the Jakara Seraphim rivalry. And if Guest Star wins this, it's one of the oldest teams in OSAS facing like one of the newest teams in OSAS for a chance to qualify. So I think either way, it's a pretty wild narrative getting spun up in this losers bracket.
It'd be great and to see if Guest Star can make it. And coincidentally, Jakar Candy actually having a guest star in their game against the team Guest Star, with Drew Shaver being the guest for Jakara here. Just wanted to point that out because I thought it was funny. Anyway, explaining the joke ruins it. And we're still, I believe, getting into map picks and bans here. So I'm kind of curious how they're going to decide to do this, right? We saw a number of Demon Deus games today, and a number of Night Market games today, as well as I think a few Atlas, but we haven't really seen a lot of variety outside of that, if I'm not mistaken. I'm curious where they're going to decide to go here at the end of it all.
Yeah, let's see, I have to look at the list of maps once again to actually remember. Okay, yeah, it's... Yeah, because the other options, Gates of Obscura is available. Imizap and Taiko are also available. And so is Oni Village. So, Imizap, Taiko, Gates, and Oni, I think are all maps that tend to get, and Demon Days as well, are all maps that tend to get banned a lot by teams that don't, like, specialize on it, especially, like, Gates and Demon Days, right? Like, if your team is really good on those, you never ban them, but if you're not like super confident on those maps, you just don't want to play them at all because they play kind of different from the rest of the maps like in the pool. So I'm not surprised, but I do know that this Jakara team, at least some of its members, are very solid on Gates. So it would be interesting if that pick gets through. I always love to see a good Gates of Obscura game, but we'll just have to see how this plays out. I wouldn't be surprised though if it is just another Night Market or Lab game.
I wouldn't be that surprised either, but I do like you, Lego Major. I do enjoy me a good Gates game. Unlock those gates, get us in those portals. Who needs the key to the city when you can have the key to the gates? But as we're still waiting for this to happen, I have to say, what was the most surprising result for you today in the bracket that we've seen so far?
Let's see. If I take a look here, it's kind of hard to say because looking at how this bracket has panned out, where we are now, it seems like it's correct. Me Enjoyers, Animal Style, were the qualifiers. Sleepyheads and Guest Star were knocked down to the losers bracket. I think it's more of an upset that Sleepyheads and Guest Star got as high as they did. I expected Sleepyheads to probably be in like the losers bracket, and Guest Star just kind of came out of nowhere. So far, that's kind of the most surprising thing to see. And so it's kind of hard to say. I think the Swiss rounds went kind of wild, but then once we started going through these bracket games, I think things started to kind of even out to where one might expect them based on like the teams, which is kind of neat. So I'm kind of more curious to see. I think if Guest Star upsets Chikara here, and even if they upset Crimson as well, that would be the craziest thing I think to happen all night. But we'll have to see.
I mean, that would be an OSAS story for the ages. Just have Guest Star show up out of nowhere, qualify, make the finale, and possibly even push the other teams to their limits, if not win it all. That would be one of the craziest OSAS stories I've ever heard, if that was managed to happen. But it looks like we did get some insider information that the map is Night Market. Though I think we're still waiting for the teams to be ready to get this underway. But, I mean, how crazy would that be if Guest Star were able to not only qualify here, taking a win over Seraphim Crimson, but able to possibly even take the entirety of OSAS, basically being a brand new team?
That would be wild, especially just considering the people that have already qualified. I'm Enjoyers, Animal Style, Wizard City Warriors, Restel, and Seraphim Sanguine Orpal, who all, the teams that played last week, other than, I'm Enjoyers and Animal Style this week, obviously, everyone else that qualified last week played pretty insane. Like, those teams were on kind of a new level, and with now I'm Enjoyers and Animal Style joining that pool, if Guest Star does qualify here, it's definitely going to be a very tough road, I think, for them to take the whole thing. But I think if they got like the coaching and the practice and whatnot to go into it, it would be a pretty wild story and a pretty crazy run to watch, even if they made just like top 4, top 3. But yeah, I think they have the potential to make some noise in the finale if they do get through here.
Yeah, that's a thing that tends to happen with the OSAS teams, right? They make the finale, and sometimes coaches just kind of pick them up and are able to teach them a bit more about the fundamentals or maybe some other characters and really improve their game so that when the finale comes around, the games become even less decisive and more kind of nail-biting, right? Down to the last strike, possibly even, to make these games happen. As we see a reset coming in here, it looks like I think there might have been a misposition on one of the sides.
I think we're on the wrong map. We're still on
we're still on Demon Days.
Yeah.
That's right, it's Night Market. And that was an Aerial's quick strike start, which would have been an insane Night Market start for both teams. Yeah. So let's hope we don't get a Spark of Leadership start, though. That's all we're really praying for. RN Jesus, if you're listening, no Spark of Leadership, please.
Yeah, that would be nice. It's kind of a goofy thing to have occur as we load in to this game here. See the picks come out. Looks like it will be actually a recovery drone and Among Titans start. So also kind of an interesting start coming out here on Among Titans game. So I'll just see if the Mako Era X comes back out. But it will be a Mako ban coming out from Chikara. So I guess that's out of the options.
Mako Era X, kind of a strong team. Might as well just get rid of one of the linchpins to make sure that it doesn't come out here. And with the Juno being available here, Dyroth gets the Juno on arguably one of her better maps and one of the more midfield-centric maps. Possibly going up against a now midfield here, though.
It could be interesting. Yeah, Dyroth's Juno is pretty good here. Moruru going for the Zentaro pick, actually. Kind of interesting. See how that plays. I don't think I've seen them play Zentaro, unless I'm just misremembering, but I'm not surprised that that's a pickup. And Drew Shaver on the Finny goalie here, as it looks like it will be an X on the side of Guest Star, and the Aimi once again. Pretty similar comp, except obviously replace the Mako with Now, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, that Finny Zen combo over on the side of Chikara could be kind of scary here. Everyone going Among Titans except for Randor went for the recovery drone, so that's going to be a very big X. Double Titan's boost plus recovery. Oh my goodness. It's taking up so much space.
Just a massive X. You know, when X says he's going to give it to you, this is kind of what I picture, right? This massive X that primary takes up the entire lane already in set 1. But I will say one of the things that I want to comment on here is the midfield matchup, right? Life 1312 seems to kind of be that Aimee player, but in my opinion, Aimee just kind of loses straight up to Juno without like some really, really crazy play from the Aimee player when the Juno can kind of just play her normal game. And so it's going to be, I think it's going to be very difficult for Life to find a lot of value here, but maybe Life can make it work in what I would think is a losing midfield matchup. But Maruru able to grab that core from Dairoth off the top corner and just win the strike war against Mycotic for the first point.
Yeah, Mycotic went for that little evade strike there, which, you know, is the right thing to do against that Zen primary, but was just a little bit too early and got stuck in the animation. Couldn't quite strike in time, so that's the first point over on the side of Chikara Candy, and Maruru immediately just wailing away on Randor and finds the KO as well, secures that, and gonna have a core flip up for it as well, earns up a lot of energy here, as now they're pushing up, gonna burn the core flip on the air unfortunately, but Dairoth on the bottom side to secure the barrier. Unfortunate missed strike shot from Drewshaver will result in a barrier of their own going down as Life is back online, but already taking so much damage and might get KO'd here. Maruru won't be able to quite find the KO, but Dairoth is still pushing hard, brings the core flip, can't get an angle on that barrier with the now primary in the way though, as we are still tied up 1-to-1 barrier here. Maruru pushing from this bottom side, Mycotic able to clear it out, back up to Randor dribbling, pops the X Maximus, but Drewshaver able to clear it out of there. Maruru taking a lot of damage here as Randor just going to town in this goal box, almost gonna be having a core flip up here as well. Massive energy advantage on the side of Gestar right now. Core flip from Life sends it through, gonna be able to get the barrier through the Finny ult, and a KO comes out. Maruru is down, but Drewshaver fires right back. It was the Finny secondary actually from Drewshaver did in fact find the KO, but regardless, Life is going to be able to capitalize on that 2v2 situation and find the point and tie it up.
Yeah, great cyber slide from Life. They're able to find the clear from Drewshaver and just sink it in between both of them. It's kind of crazy to see just sheerly how much damage Chikara Candy has. I mean, look at that. Randor's X is already off the map, less than 13 seconds into the round. But they're able to still get the KOs and still get the damage where needed because of the Aimee, because of the X, and because of the Now, who weirdly is running Pauldrons, probably in response to the sheer amount of damage that Chikara Candy is outputting at this point.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, there's a Pauldrons Now, so that's pretty neat to see. Usually you only see that on Demon Days, but kind of interesting to see it here. Big healing coming out from Mycotic, but Randor still taking so much damage. Has a core flip, actually burns it there to take out Dairoth, it looks like, and Maruru firing right back though. KO of their own core flips, it gets it past Mycotic. As Chikara Candy bring it to set point.
Maruru able to grab that core and just sink it past the Now, who doesn't have strike shot and has very few ways to catch a core that's across it with her without already having something set up. The primary moving a little too slow, and the secondary, while being quick, still has a noticeable cooldown to be able to catch something like that. And you really have to basically preempt it quite a bit ahead of time to make that work.
Yeah, now with energy up, unfortunately losing both barriers. Gestar does have the energy advantage, but they have an open goal and they're against set point here, so kind of a tight situation. Mycotic gonna have to make these clears very nice, but it doesn't matter. Dairoth with the slime sends it right back through Life. Mycotic went to the top side. I think he was gonna go up there, but Dairoth just sent it right back at you, right straight back the way it came, and found the point.
I mean, sometimes you just have a friend that you can throw in the right direction and forces you to deal with it, and Juno just has those answers against somebody like Aimee, and even really against somebody like Now, who really only has her own primary, which gets beat by Friend Fling. So Juno very strong in this overall matchup in general, and now opting for the nice edge deny against Randor, who really doesn't have a lot going for him here. Opting for the prize fighter instead of the glass cannon, and Missile Prop X would be funny, but definitely not the pick. But I think most importantly, Maruru gets heavy impact Zentaro. We used to always complain about perfect form Zentaro. Well, Heavy Impact is arguably perfect form for that character anyway, because of the sheer number of hitboxes he has.
Yeah, definitely kind of the winner of that draft here. The Rapid Fire and Extra Special over on the side of Guest Star is pretty nice, though, and we'll have to see if Randor's Prize Fighter ends up paying out. Right now, just kind of playing for their life in the midfield, just getting knocked all around. There's the recovery drone kicking in, having to fall back, take a little bit of my Narcotics healing there to get back on life support, but will earn a barrier here as they push up, taking more damage as both the forwards for Guest Star are just having to try and survive. Dyroth also very hurt here. This could be a bloodbath coming in. Moru goes for the flip kill, but Life able to survive. Will earn the barrier here, though. Mycotic waiting it out, but Dyroth pushing up. It's a tight situation. Goes for the slime, but Mycotic able to clear it, and Randor finds the KO. Drew Shaver and Mycotic both have core flips in the pocket just in case we enter overtime. Life in this top corner goes for the Cyber Swipes. Drew goes for the core flip, but Life is right there to get the barrier. And now both teams open. Maru with the dribble finds the shot. Gets it out of range of Mycotic's core flip. A well-placed shot there from Maruru to bring Chikara Candy into the lead even further than they were before.
It's just an unfortunate thing for Life there. Running above the barrier and then getting caught on it means that Maru just has an easy shot between two, and Mycotic tried to flip, but just nowhere even close to get that hit. And just an easy goal, and gets the flip out for it too from Maruru. But Randor has been playing quite well, staying alive, despite basically being staggered for 60 to 70% of this game, and able to hang on to the stack that he's obtained despite running the slick kicks instead of any sort of healing.
Yeah, but now with an open net once again, Guest Star have to be on this defense as Mycotic just trying to clear it out of here. But Maru's gonna have another core flip up here, dashing in with the Zenold. Enough hits to earn energy, but it doesn't even matter because the angle's gonna be there, and Maruru able to score once again. And going into this third point now with a core flip up is absolutely huge. There's no energy barely on the side of Guest Star here, and with a pretty big level advantage as well. Maruru at level 6, and it's just level 4 for the forwards of Guest Star. Immediate double barrier utilizing that flip, and now Maruru just waiting in his midfield to receive the rock and potentially get another point. Randor not looking very healthy over there at all. Maruru finds another KO, and Mycotic in Life just trying to play it out, trying to stall, but it doesn't matter. Drew Shaver with the Finny card snipe is going to find the point as Chikara Candy take set 2.
That was the most insane back pass attempt from Life 1312 I think I would have ever seen. And I'm not sure if it was like their intended play to back pass into the projectile to try and mix up Maruru, but Maruru just did not care and found the strike anyway. And the Finny card finding the snipe means that Zentaro is now rewarded with double bis, having both heavy impact and explosive entrance, but now gets Manu most notably. And I think with Manu prime time, this could start going more into Guest Star's favor if they're able to utilize these awakenings more. Fight or flight on the X means he's going to get more dashes and more ways to get around the field even faster and avoid this damage. And extra special time, this Aimi is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, it's definitely a very good draft from the side of Guest Star here, despite losing that round. But it's still definitely going to be a tough match as Maru has just been wreaking absolute havoc on their team. This being said, they are up a barrier, and they are going to have Rancor's flip up in just a moment. Rancor with a nice little strike ward to earn the barrier, and doesn't even need it. Drew Shaver just trying to clear it down. It was a tight situation, nowhere to send it. Rancor with a point, putting Guest Star on the board now. I think it's their first point this game, if I'm not mistaken. So looking like they are still definitely in this match, and maybe that draft was a little bit better than I thought.
I believe they got one in the first set, but yeah, definitely one of their few goals, because Randor has just not been able to play the game, basically, effectively having to play a completely different game that's not Omega Strikers for majority of the thing. But Maruru with the explosive entrance dash just catches Mycotic off guard and just easy strike war win against a character that needs to make sure that strike happens to the clear. And now tying up the set with basically one more set to go before not qualifying, but getting into the losers finals here. Life using the turret, but not able to get both barriers despite Randor's offense. And now we've kind of reset back to the central position again.
And Maruru has a core flip up here, though. Randor will be having one up soon, but we've seen how dangerous Maruru is with that energy. available, and Dairoth going for that jump, but can't quite find it. It's going to allow Randor to push up and grab that barrier. Corfle coming out from Mycotic. Maru dashing down, try and go with that ult to keep it in play, but Life able to get it out, and now Life versus Dairoth in this top side. Randor finding a KO onto Drew Shaver. The cat cannon is up. Life able to just push it right in as the forwards can't get back in time. As Gueststar managed to bring it to a very shaky set point. They have a chance to get a set here and stall this one out, but Chakar Candy, of course, have the ability to just close this out kind of whenever they feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, they for the first time in a long time, they both have flip. Randor actually opting to use it to get the main damage dealer off the field, gets the barrier. I mean, whenever the core gets in the hands of Randor, look at what happens.
Oh my gosh.
They have to keep Randor off the field, or else Randor just goes crazy and either gets the goal or sets up Life. And now they come back in a set where they can scale even further and potentially take this all the way. But Hotshot available for the Juno, though.
Oh yeah, that was an absolutely crazy round. Gueststar brought it back, but yeah, Hotshot is on the board. So is Spec Training. Will be a Spec Training pickup from this Axis. Will allow Dairoth to get Hotshot. It's a very dangerous gamble, but I guess when you're in a situation like Gueststar, you're going to have to rely on that gamble to see if it pays off. Deadeye going over to the Imi here as well, and Primetime on Mycotic. That's Primetime Rapid Fire now. Chrono Boost falling to the Finny, and Demolitionist on Maruru. So overall, a little bit of a scary draft for both teams potentially. I'm not really sure like what to make of that. Is Mycotic now just going to have that cooldowns up forever? And of course with the Monumentalist, that's a very scary now, and Randor can be dealing a lot of damage all of a sudden. But taking a lot of damage themselves here in this goal box. So I'm curious to see how this goes out. There's the recovery drone kicking in as Randor still in this midfield, but they have managed to secure the first barrier, so that's something. That's a way to start it.
Indeed, but they get Dairoth just nails the McDouble right in the center, and is rewarded for it with Maruru almost getting the explosive entrance there, but not quite able to find it. Randor finally being taken off the map, not expecting that Zentaro primary to make that happen, and unfortunately Life just kind of getting the better of right now against Maruru, but Mycotic able to make these saves and double flip here, but Life actually burns the flip and it goes right into the
No way.
No way.
No way.
Oh my god,
No
they're gonna
way.
be slapping themselves for that. The slime griefs.
The slime just hit the angle on the goal line, and Mycotic was able to clear it out because of that. As we enter this overtime now, there's still a barrier up on the side of Chikara Candy, so Gueststar have to do a little bit more work here, but they were bailed out once. Looks like Dairoth going to recover from their mistake, though, with the core flip and find the point regardless, but I don't think I've ever seen that before, where a slime on the bottom corner just shoots it all the way to the top on the goal line to save it like that.
And even worse is that was an input, because the slime would have just shot it right at the goal otherwise with no input available. So that was just an unfortunate input from Dairoth to basically Soren angle their own instant goal. And now Dairoth is actually taken off the pitch here from Randor, the combination of Randor and Life, as they push forward here.
Core flip coming out from Maruru. Randor did have to spend a bit to evade there, but popping the X Maximus and pushing up. Not going to be able to get a barrier, though. The secondary from Drew Shaver was able to hold it down and deal a lot of damage to Randor, as Chikar Candy looking to make a push here of their own. They're going to earn one barrier. Dairoth passing it back up, trying to find more. Mycotic trying to clear it out to this top side, but Dairoth and Maruru were able to get up there with a nice little strike wall from Maruru. The barrier will go down. Core flip has to come out there from Mycotic, as Maruru just fighting in the midfield. Will pick up the KO onto Randor. It's now Dairoth pushing up this field, going for the jump into this top corner. Mycotic wins the strike war, able to get it down, but Maruru is still down there, pushing up hard. The slimes are out once again, and Dairoth with the slime, able to secure it and bring Chikara Candy to match point.
I barely saw that slime there, honestly. I probably would have hit that slime myself, as unfortunately just the placement from the ultimate from Dairoth is able to get that, but almost a double barrier actually secured there now for Randor. When this guy's not on the field, he makes things happen for this team, which is why it's kind of been the hunt the Randor game for Chikara Candy, as both barriers down now, but it's kind of do or die for Gueststar, as they're a threatening match point and elimination point for their tournament win right here. but Randor able to put it in off a good flip from Life directly down to Randor, and who's, like I said, just been proving himself, able to just get it past this defense despite 3 players being right on top of him.
Yeah, Drew Shaver actually made a very risky out clear that ended up working, but Life was right back there to send it back into the play, and of course Randor ended up picking up the point beyond the little strike war with that slime there. But energy is up now. Dairoth core flipping trades it with Mycotic, but Maruru right there to fire one in return and earns the barrier. It won't be the double, but getting one is still pretty nice, and Randor is once again just having to play for their life here in this midfield. Dairoth with the slime is going to be the one to pick up the KO as Mycotic just dribbling it around in their own goal box, trying to just buy a little bit of time for their forwards to respawn, sending it around a bit. But Dairoth is hitting this core so hard with these hot shots, jumping in now. The glitch pop, unfortunately, going to send it a little bit backwards there. The barrier is gone now. Randor is back online. Now Life and Randor in this midfield trying to get through, but Maruru on the bottom dashing up. Life able to respond with the Cyber Strike, but Maruru is still pushing hard with the Zen ult, now pushing into the bottom, going for the Zen primary. Mycotic able to defend, but Life will pay with their life. Core flip coming out from Drew Shaver, and now just Mycotic and Maruru and Dairoth fighting over this goal on the goal line. It's not going to be enough. Core flip comes out from Mycotic, but can't quite reach it as Chikara Candy take the match, and we'll be moving on to the losers finals.
KO them indeed, Maruru, as the slime almost Soren angled for a second time, which would have been absolutely insane to see 2 Soren angle slimes in the same match. But the angle was just enough to get that goal in as Dairoth, Maruru, and Drew Shaver take it here. The veterans do take it over the newcomers, but I really hope those newcomers come back because they had some really great games on their tail end, and I hope they're able to look at this and make those adjustments and come back and really take one of these qualifying series and make it to the finale.
Yeah, it was certainly a pretty solid game, but Guest Star might need a little bit more time in the oven when they're facing such a stacked roster of teams here. So maybe next week they'll have another shot here. I'd like to see them come back because they're definitely, I think, a team to have your eye on going into these later weeks. But that will be Chikara Candy taking it, and Randor got 6 KOs that game. Maruru got 5, Drew Shaver got 3, so just kind of a bit of a bloodbath all around for how short it ended up being. But that is Chikara Candy moving on to loser semifinals to fight the rivalry match Seraphim Crimson for a chance to qualify. And this is pretty wild. I didn't think it would ever come down to this, where it's this Chikara team versus the Seraphim team in the loser semis. 1 spot to qualify. It's happened before, but it's not very often, considering the size of the rosters. And both these teams are coming in 6-1 as well, so totally tied up. This is going to be a pretty wild match trying to claim this last qualification spot.
Indeed. I mean, one spot left, and 2 arguably legendary teams at this point in OSAS history, aside from just the straight up winners, right? I mean, Dairoth Maru's been around forever. Master X Malachi feels like he's been in every OSAS since its inception.
Because he has.
And he literally has, apparently. I did not know that. Because, holy crap, this guy is just everywhere in OSAS. And effectively is approaching the board of directors, I'd say, for the OSAS league, assuming they'd even have a board of directors. But these 2 legendary teams clashing at it yet again, and we get yet again the Chikara rivalry. Although OSAS, I would argue, is more of Chikara on Chikara violence. So it's actually nice to see the Chikara versus Seraphim come back and be that rivalry that is kind of just been always. It almost feels what OSAS is all about sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the amount, the quantity of Chikara teams has gotten exponentially larger over the seasons. They've had a massive growth as an organization. So there's just been so many teams that they end up team killing each other a lot. Whereas Seraphim has kind of, each season has really only been 2 or 3 teams, some new, some old, kind of rotate in and out occasionally. But both organizations kind of always have been here So it's definitely been kind of the rivalry match of this series and even other series. But yeah, it looks like Crimson lost to the last two Chikara teams that they faced, which was Clinkers and Catgirls, which is rough. But Seraphim does have the one OSAS actual winner in Seraphim Rose Gold, whereas Chikara doesn't have any yet. So we'll see if that can be changed this season, or if Seraphim's able to pull out another one. But yeah, definitely a very potent rivalry going on here. All good fun though. It's always great to watch.
Well, Seraphim did take OSAS Season 2 with Seraphim Rose Gold, so let's see if they can take another win here in Season 4. What team won Season 3 again? Was it a Seraphim or Chikara team, or was it somebody else?
I don't remember who won Season 3. Ball and Ballers was Season 4. And I honestly don't remember what Season 3 was, but it was not a Seraphim or Chikara team.
So that
Magical Meeps. Magical Meeps.
That's right. Meeps.
That's right. I remember that. I do remember that now.
That was like the interesting games were when Meeps weren't on the screen, unfortunately. Nothing against the Meeps, because they just went absolutely insane, but man, it was just crazy how above the competition they were that season. But anyway, I mean, so that means Chikara actually does not have an OSAS win under their belt, despite all the teams they have. Am I correct?
Yep, that is correct. They have not actually taken the first place. They got second and third and fourth and fifth that season, in Season 3 apparently, but they have not taken a first place. And meanwhile, Seraphim, I think only has a first place, and then I think there's at least one top 8 placing. I don't remember what place that was, but it was at least one top 8 placing. I think 2 seasons ago. But yeah, Seraphim Sanguine Orpal has already qualified last week, so that's one Seraphim team already in the bracket, and I think no Chikara teams. So this Candy could be the first ones to qualify this season. But Crimson could be the second Seraphim team in a row to qualify this season. So, pretty interesting thing we got going on right here.
Interesting indeed. I mean, if Chikara is able to take the win this season, I mean, it almost feels like that one song. It's been a long time coming, right? I mean, Chikara has just been everywhere, and it has umpteen million teams just kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting, like, put me in, coach, put me in. Yeah, I'm going to do it this time, right? And so if they're able to actually pull out this win and bring the set forward 1-1 against Seraphim in terms of wins, who cares about placements, even though those teams did very well, but like, it's really about the wins, right? And if Chikara is able to tie Seraphim, it can make for quite an epic almost matches in the upcoming OSAS as the Seraphim and Chikara teams fight for that second win. So we'll have to see if this Chikara team's able to take it over Seraphim here to give them even more options in the finale. As we see, Rapid Fire and Spark of Agility are the awakenings.
Yep, and a Mako and Juno ban here. Mako probably against Malachi there, and Juno against Dairoth. As we've seen, that Juno is very scary. Usually gets banned against them, except for that last game, obviously. But Drew Shaver back on the Finny. Dairoth going for the now. Zentaro for the Maruru. Maruru on the Zentaro, my bad. But pretty standard team comp coming out from Seraphim Crimson. And that Mako ban, that allows Yugo to be on the Luna, which is kind of his main. Well, it is his main. That's like what he is known for. He is the Luna. He is the Luna goalie. So kind of dangerous there from Chikara to take away the Mako. This will obviously allow that to occur, but yeah, very solid picks coming out as we see Rapid Fire go to Drew Shaver, Yugo, and Tefunk, and everyone else going for that Spark here in this first round. And a quick barrier coming off of Crimson as well, or earned by Crimson, my bad, coming off of Chikara here to start us off.
We were talking about explosive gameplay, and now we have literally the explosion character herself, Luna, and some of the highest damage team comps I've ever seen in Omega Strikers with what's being picked here. But I have to say, Tafonk actually opting for slick kicks here is quite an interesting choice. Dyroth as well, but Dyroth being now means that you can kind of get away with it, but Tafonk just getting the shotgun, and this is actually what I was getting to when I was getting into that thought, is Tafonk on Drakkar with rapid fire has the potential to 1v9 this game, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, he's just that strong of a player on this character, and giving Drakkar effectively his ability to take over a game in the very first instance of Awakenings showing up, I could see this basically being a Tafonk sweep if Drakkar Candy's not careful.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rapid fire start with this Drakkar, like you say, and they let the Luna get through. I think the Mako ban may have been a mistake. We'll have to see if it comes back to bite them or not. Malachi is dead right now, but there's not too much to say about the field state. It's just a barrier to a barrier here as we get into this. But yeah, not banning the Drakkar or not banning the Luna may come back to bite them, but Hugo with the core flip is going to find a KO in return as they're looking to push for this point here. Drew Shaver able to get it out, but Hugo coming up to this midfield. Eject button will run out, but should be able to get back in time here. Yep, to clear it out as Maruru back on the field immediately gets the barrier here and opens up this goal as we enter overtime now. Tafonk is going to have to play for his life a little bit in this midfield, but Maruru goes for the dribble. Is going to get shot by the rocket. Back up to Tafonk here, playing for this top corner, sending it over to Malachi. Can't get too much pressure, but Hugo dashing up, keeping it in play, gets sent into the finial, but doesn't matter because Malachi able to dribble it and find the point as Crimson bring it to set point.
Oh man, just an unfortunate big finish timing there. Just basically delivers a perfect dimer to Master X Malachi, who's able to find the strike and get it in for the goal there. I think it actually just ended up timing out there, so just a little bit of unfortunate timing from the Finny ult to make that goal happen.
Yeah, Finial definitely kind of sent it into the corner there. An unfortunate double barrier. Drew Shaver, unfortunate clear, hit the little Atlas Lab angle. Kind of got both of their own barriers here, and Dyroth taking a lot of damage. So is Malachi, though. But with that open goal, it's very dangerous as Dyroth having to play back a little bit to try and survive. Funk just trying to keep sending it up to the Centauro to try and get it in, but Malachi will go down here. Maruru on the verge of a core flip as well. The tables have kind of turned, and now it's Funk who's sharp, but it goes past Drew Shaver, and Hugo with the Luna dash, able to just sink it right in. Seraphim Crimson pull it out in the 2v3 and take the set.
I mean, get Hugo on the slalom here, just going right between those posts. Left and right, and then back into the goal gate to not just kick it right past the strike shot before Drew Shaver could get that off, and is rewarded now with Deadeye Luna.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely great pickup, and heavy impacts going over to Tafonk as well is pretty big. It's Ignite from the Centauro, and of course it's very good on this Drakkar that already has a rapid fire. It's like extra special, built diff, and chrono going over to the side of Drakkar Candy, and hot shots over to Malachi. It's not a bad draft, but yeah, that Deadeye and that heavy impact pickups are going to be absolutely massive for Seraphim moving forward. Malachi's stuck at level 2, unfortunately, but we'll probably earn a little bit of XP here. He's kind of dead most of that match, unfortunately. But we'll have to see how it goes. Dead again.
Oh, wow.
Immediately goes down. And we'll be one barrier here for Drakkar. It looks like they're pushing up. We'll be able to earn a second one. And Tafonk goes down. 1v3 is just Hugo, Maru, and Dyroth passing it around. And yeah, not much a little Luna can do about that. Drakkar Candy able to get into the 1v3 situation and just take the point.
It honestly looked like Drew Shaver had Deadeye that point, because the Finny card snipes were just everywhere, securing these KOs from across the map, surprising the side of Seraphim Crimson, but a just slow core gets past Drew Shaver and gets both barriers. But one thing I do want to comment on is, with heavy impact and rapid fire on Tafonk, if Tafonk gets any range, it could spell pretty much the end, I would say, for Drakkar Candy. Because not only do they have the damage, but they also have the core control, as Master X Malachi just gets an easy passive between all three of them, and for the goal there to even up the set.
Yeah, all the members there was not enough. They could not cover every possible angle, and Malachi's still stuck at level 2, but it didn't really matter anyway. One barrier going down for each side here, with the Black Hole playing a little bit of a part in that. Dairoth sending it around, but Yugo dashing up to the midfield, keeping it in this play. Malachi going for this Zen ult is going to just allow it to float back. Drew Shaver, not too much to do about that barrier. As Tefunk pushing up with the shotgun. Nice little clear there from Drew Shaver, but it's still in this goal box. Another strike while win from Drew Shaver to keep it out and sending it around. Yugo will keep the barrier up, but Maruru is super hurt, and Malachi is just going to be able to dash it right in. The hit stun. Drew Shaver can't clear that one out. It's Crimson bringing it to set point once again.
These points are just, despite Master X Malachi basically not getting to play the games, it's a la Randor from last point, able to just find these scores anyway, and is now starting to catch up in level and is able to survive. But Yugo, oh my god, Yugo gets the Luna and shows why you make sure this person does not get the Luna pick, as he just kicks it in, and now they're up 2 sets. And with Tefunk being first and just tons of options available, I guess maybe not that many options for this Drakkar, but still enough to take him even further in the lead. I mean, how does Chikara Candy come back from this?
Yeah, this is going to be a rough one. Twin Drive going over to Yugo as well. That might have just sealed the deal right there. And quick strikes on this Drakkar. Looks like 1 spark, stagger swagger. Well, that is 2 sparks for Dairoth. I take that back. So that's not bad. Spec training going to Maruru, not super great. There were not very many options there as Malachi took the Demolitionist off the board. So overall, Seraphim Crimson eating very good in both of these drafts so far. Just getting everything that I wanted. Tefunk immediately with a big KO against Dairoth and getting a barrier off of the power play as well. Malachi with a second barrier off this power play. Tefunk looking for more, passing it back in. Going to bounce off the black hole here. Maruru going for the Zen ult to try and clear it out. Yugo couldn't quite get the dash off, but they're going to have another shot. Maruru is alive once again, but they're still pushing hard. Malachi dashing in, brings out the primary, and it's going to be enough to stop the core and shove it through as Crimson continues their absolute onslaught of scoring.
Man, Drew Shaver, I think, trying to go for the mix-up, passing back to Dairoth there. But Master X Malachi just right on top of it, able to make that score happen regardless. And Yugo with these saves is just proving that even if they can get the core to the other side, the mix of the rapid fire Drakkar and this Luna main is proving to be too much for Chikara Candy, as they're just getting bullied now with all this damage. Look at this. The Now has nowhere to go.
Taken off the field, and Yugo dashes up to secure this barrier. Now Maruru taking a lot of damage. So is Malachi. Looks like that Zen ult, actually going to launch him in the corner. So still alive for now, but the goal is open. Yugo going for another cheeky dash. Won't be able to get it through that time, but Tefunk is pushing up hard. Malachi going for the dash into passive. Core flip comes out from Drew Shaver, but Malachi is still there, sending it right back in. And the Luna Nuke to zone them off. Malachi shoves it right in. There was nowhere for Drew Shaver to go. No energy to spend. Seraphim Crimson on match point already.
I mean, we need to get a red broom brand out here, because this is looking like a Seraphim sweep right now. I mean, who needs the magical meeps when Seraphim's playing like this? Tefunk on this Drakkar, Yugo on this Luna, Master X Malachi finally not playing Mako forward and looking absolutely stellar, as they're set to basically take the game here with very little contention from Chikara Candy. But Maruru going for the offense here, may be able to turn it around. We'll have to see.
And Maruru does have a core flip up, and they will earn a barrier here as well. Malachi unfortunately going to miss the core flip here, but still pushing up hard. Will earn the barrier regardless, and is pretty hurt, but doesn't matter because Tefunk just gets it right through Drew Shaver, and that's the match. Crimson take it 3-0. They're going to be qualifying after many long seasons. This is their second time qualifying now. They've done it. They've beaten Chikara for the qualification.
Yugo, looking like a certain gamer who might be of the thespian variety, just an absolute masterclass on the Luna. Tefunk, an absolute masterclass on the Drakkar. Master X Malachi, maybe not necessarily a masterclass, but absolutely outperforming here in this game. And there was just nothing to be had for Chikara Candy there. It was an absolute Seraphim sweep.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be much closer than that, but yeah, Seraphim just it kind of just put Chikara Candy in their place there. I mean, like I said, I think that Mako ban was bait. I think having the Luna up their defense so much, which is like the one thing that Crimson, as we saw in that last match, was having trouble with. Their offense has been solid all night, and not having to worry about, shoving it past and getting it shoved past in a stell just made it so that they could do their thing, just go up there, kill and get points. And yeah, Drew Shaver just couldn't hold it down against a rapid fire Drakkar and the Centauro. Like, it was just too much. Seraphim just absolutely took it. Drakkar only got 1 goal that whole game. So they got 4 KOs, but it just doesn't matter. It just was not enough. So very well played there from both teams. But yeah, Seraphim Crimson decisively taking it. And so that's 2 Seraphim teams now that have qualified. I think there's only 2 more left in the bracket so far to try and qualify in later weeks.
We'll have to see, but this ups Seraphim's chances of taking yet another win over Chikara's 0 in this kind of head-to-head matchup between these 2 effectively pillars of OSAS at this point. I think Chikara's really gonna have to step up their game if they're gonna get more teams in this finale, as currently they have 0 in the finale, despite having such a presence in the OSAS scene, while Seraphim have 2. So I think if they're able to just kind of hunker down and get these practice matches going, get these in-houses going, and make sure that they can clean up their game, they'll be able to get in here and try and put a little bit more onto Seraphim Crimson, who's just looking so strong. I can't believe that was even a loser's game, because Seraphim Crimson was looking absolutely phenomenal there.
Yeah, they started in the losers bracket going 3-1 in Swiss and just absolutely swept their way through every... Well, I don't think they swept through every team. I don't know what each of the matches looked like, but they took out Sleepyhead, they took out Harrison's Fire, Mac and Cheese, and they took out Team 13. So definitely looking very solid tonight, and it must feel very good coming off of that win, that qualification. Yeah, I mean, what can I say other than I hope that it gets to be a Seraphim sweep in the final. I think that would be incredible to see. But yeah, like you said, Chikara teams, still plenty of them in here, but they're still going to have to contend with a lot of these other teams. You know, you got Guest Star in here, you still got Sleepyheads in here, you still got Harrison's Fire, Mac and Cheese in here, and a lot of other really nice teams that they're going to have to contend with for those qualification spots.
And don't forget last week's winners, right? The Wizard City Warriors looked incredibly strong. So yeah. I think it's really going to come down to like the top 2-ish teams that qualify of strength. But I mean, Wizard City Warriors look so strong that I'm not sure that even the teams we saw today stand much of a chance. But if they're able to step up their game, able to find the coaching where they need to, and to clean up maybe parts of their game that they're possibly lacking on, especially any sort of potential character, like, not mishaps, but what's the word? Uncomfortability, I guess you could say. They can finally give Wizard City Warriors the challenge that they're looking for, because otherwise it could turn into another magical meat situation if they're not careful.
Yeah, it is interesting. That Wizard City Warriors team is very scary, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up being the ones that take it all, but that's still a long way out. You know, things change, new teams show up. You know, I think when Rose Gold took it, they showed up like 3 or 4 weeks into the thing and just won, and then they ended up winning the whole thing. So you never really know what's going to happen. But yeah, we have, I think, a very incredible finals this season. I think no matter what, we already have so many solid teams, and now 2 Seraphim teams in there as well. I'm curious to see how the rest of it pans out. But that being said, I believe that's all that we have for you tonight. You have anything else to say, Nubsta?
I don't really have anything to say myself. I just glad I was able to cast today and had some absolute banger games today. A couple sweeps that were kind of unfortunately uneventful. It was nice to see that despite the sweeps, the level of OSAS play has gone up significantly, at least since I've played back in Season 2. So, I mean, a lot of these players are arguably better than me now, and I feel like I've improved a fair bit. So, it's got to be real scary for some of these newcomers to OSAS, but I hope they stick with it. I hope they keep coming back, because we love to see you here, and I know the community loves to have more members in it, so that we can kind of spread this game that we love even further. I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with that being said, congratulations, IME Enjoyers, Animal Style, OSAS, and Seraphim Crimson for your qualifications this week. Absolutely incredible matches by all. And I hope we'll see you all here next week for week 3 to see what surprises await us. But that is all for now. Good night.